best damn sports radio show on the planet? I said Bourbon Street. Are you ready for the best damn sports radio show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
And now, Mike's thoughts.
What is up, Man Hour Nation? Every time in this time of year, we see some stupid signings, some stupid trades, and guess what? The Baltimore Ravens did it. The Baltimore Ravens signed Lamar Jackson to a 5-year, $260 million deal. Why did they do this? They were pressured, let's just be honest. The city of Baltimore, all you Baltimore Ravens fans, have basically said, this guy is a great guy. What has he done for you? Sure, he's won a lot of regular season games, right? 13-3, on and on. What do you do in the playoffs? He shits the bed. His butthole puckers, he's like, oh, man, I don't like the cold. So he says, I want to be 5 more years in Baltimore. What happens in Baltimore in December and January, guys? It gets cold. It gets really cold. It gets colder over there than it does in Chicago. Let's just be honest. So for them to say, hey, this guy is awesome, Baltimore Ravens fans, you guys are not very smart. 5 years, $260 million, Combs.
$52 million a year to sit on the bench injured halfway through the season.
Guys, I saw this crazy tweet. AFC North, Deshaun Watson getting $50 million a year. Lamar Jackson, $52 million a year. Joe Burrow is going to get a $50+ million deal. And Kenny Pickett, $3.5 million. And guess what? The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to win the AFC North.
You're out of your mind.
It is what it is. They're going to win the
your
North.
mind.
They're going to win the North. Combs, cue that intro. Where's it at? Damn it, what's up? There it is.
Are you ready for the best damn radio show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
You know on the beat every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that while I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who's coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the court. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches, won't cut short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzz beaters. We coming live all through your speakers, go.
Be sure to head over to manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page, or check out the blog section as well. We got a great show for you guys lined up tonight. We got my man, Brandon BC Combs, coming onto the show here. What's up, Combsy?
What is going on, Michael Buckheiser? What is going on, Man Hour Nation? What is going on, Bourbon Street? What are you guys doing out there tonight, man? You guys are, I got like one person clapping, and it's the one guy that doesn't believe in Justin Fields in the room.
Hey.
But no, man, it's going to be a good night. We're going to have a lot of fun. We got the NFL draft. I don't know what my Bears are going to do at number 9. I just hope it's not Jalen Carter. That's my thing. With Jalen Carter, I feel like that's probably the one way you mess up the draft, because Jalen Carter might be a number 1, number 2, number 3 talent in the draft. However, with his issues on the field and with his issues off the field, I just feel like I'd be willing to tip my cap to another GM that was willing to take that risk.
How many guys have problems off the field, though? I mean, there's a lot of guys that have problems off the field. I know this is a little bit more than just a small
This isn't
problem.
the Randy Moss
There's
thing.
a lot of guys, and I know he came in looking like John Belushi for the combine, but I mean, this guy is a mountain man. He's going to be a great 3, and the Bears defense runs through a 3 technique. I mean, this is a Lovie Smith defense, basically, where Tommy Harris was a monster for this defense for 3 years before he got buggy whipped with that kick and hurt his knee, and the rest is history.
I get it, but this is not the Randy Moss thing. I mean, how many Bears fans remember that the Bears actually could have drafted Randy Moss? But the Bears passed on Randy Moss because he didn't show up for breakfast with Walter Payton, right? This isn't that.
That's enough for me.
This isn't
Walter
that.
Payton is a national treasure, my friend.
I agree with you, but that's not a reason to pass up on the greatest wide receiver of all
So
time.
1 second here. You are mad because the defensive lineman's out of shape and fat? Don't you want a fat defensive?
I'm mad because an edge rusher came to the pro day after having trouble with the law
He's not an edge rusher. He's a defensive lineman.
and still couldn't show for his pro day.
He's a three
ready
tech.
for pro day.
He's not a defensive end. He's a 3 technique.
Yes.
I don't care if
He
he's
needs
I
to
don't
take
care if
3
he's-
steps and
I don't
sit
care
there.
if he's a 95 technique. I don't care how many techniques
He needs to
runs.
take 3 steps and sit there. That's all he has to do. Give me a fat man.
The guy,
He's supposed to rush. He's an edge rusher.
Buck, this is the guy who said he would take Deshaun Watson to a massage parlor.
Yeah.
And now he has a problem with Jalen Carter. Like, even,
How many people here would have been upset had we taken Deshaun Watson over Mitch Trubisky? Anybody would have been upset if we took Deshaun Watson over Mitch
Hindsight's
Trubisky?
2020.
Would you have walked Deshaun Watson to a massage parlor your damn self? Thank you. Thank you.
This guy's wearing a Walter Payton jersey. Of course
Exactly.
he would.
That's why he was upset about Randy Moss as well.
Listen, hindsight's 2020. What if Mitchell Trubisky, what if the double dink doink would have happened? What if?
yeah.
We can play the what if game. What if Deshaun Watson fell to the Bears? You guys would still be a crap hole.
What if grasshoppers had boxing gloves? Then birds wouldn't fuck with them in the morning.
Let's go to your eye test.
You play what if all day long. Let's go to the eye test.
Let's go to the eye test. What's going on?
There we go. All right, guys, it's time for Combs' eye test. Combs' eye test, for those of you that don't know, I do a lot of things not by the stats. I like to watch things on TV. I like to see how the players play. I like to see how they react during the game. I don't care about NFL combines. I don't care how you look in shorts. I don't look at stats. I look at how you are on the field, right? My eye test is going out to the Chicago Bears draft tonight, okay? Because every mock draft today had Jalen Carter going at number 9. Every mock draft. And for those of you that listen to the show, for those of you that are fans of Windy City Sports Talk on Sundays, then you guys know where I want to go, right? The Bears need a wide receiver. The Bears need a weapon. The Bears need somebody. They need somebody for Justin Fields. And not just a guy who unfortunately would be the Bears' leading wide receiver had he played his first 5 years in Chicago instead of Carolina. But they need a big weapon. They need their Justin Jefferson. They need to go out and get Quentin Johnston from TCU. They need to go out and get a 6'4" wide receiver with great hands and breakaway speed. So if the Bears draft Jalen Carter, I might lose my mind tonight. Just a fair warning. I might lose my mind tonight. That's Combs' eye test.
Oh my God.
Sheesh.
Who are they gonna? What is he gonna do? A 2-yard out? They have no blocking. How are you gonna take a wide receiver? Is he going to block too? Is he
We've
going
talked
to
about
slide
this on the
into
show.
left tackle? I don't care if we talked about
All right,
this
wait.
on the show.
Buck, you've played football at a high level, right? You played for Kansas State.
Sometimes.
You played, I mean, I wouldn't say
Hey,
high
who's
level.
booing out there?
I wouldn't say
The
high
Kansas
level.
State University.
He played in the Canadian Football League, so maybe not high level, but he still played professional football. Can or cannot a good wide receiving core, alongside a good running game, make an offensive line look better?
Hey, Fitz.
Here we go.
What do you need to run the ball? Do you need a line to run the
do
football?
need a line.
They were one of the best running teams in the league last year.
So you need a line to block
That's all they
for a
did
running
was-
game, right?
yeah.
How long does it take for a quarterback like Justin Fields to throw the ball? 3 seconds, 4 seconds?
Who had the most
1
big
second.
plays
Okay.
from the line of scrimmage in the run last year?
Oh.
The Bears in the NFL. They could run the
Yeah,
ball.
that's 'cause that's all
They've
they
got an
did.
offensive line that can
That's
run block.
'cause they
but
couldn't pass the ball.
But a wide receiving core can make an inept
This guy's nuts.
offensive line look a little bit better
Well,
than
if
what
you
they
squint
are.
your eyes, does he look like Matt Millen, the ex-GM of the Detroit Lions from the early 2000s, who drafted a wide receiver every single year? How are the Detroit Lions doing right now, huh? How are the Detroit Lions doing? That's a great organization, isn't it?
Hey, they're probably gonna win the North, let's just be honest.
They're not going to win the North.
Half
Stop
their
it.
team is suspended for gambling.
And they traded their
Yeah.
best cornerback.
And Pete Rose is going to the Hall of Fame, Buck.
Jim Powell jumped in the chat here. He says a good offensive line makes everybody else look good. That is false. How does a good offensive line make everybody else look good? You need a quarterback, right?
We have a quarterback.
Do you?
Yeah, I mean, look, John Fitzgibbon might not think so, but everybody else here, who does not believe in Justin Fields? Show of hands, who does not believe in Justin? We have one hand up, John. Put it down. Put it down.
There you go.
Oh,
My man right over there.
That was my dad. He's trying to talk shit.
Justin Fields is the modern day Michael Vick pre-jail.
Oh, God.
Wow.
If you guys want Justin Fields to be good, get him some dogs.
Dude. You went there?
Michael Vick was a beast
Get
after
outta
he learned how to
here.
throw the ball.
If you stop talking over everybody, he did have a point at the end. You do need people up front. You do need people up front to at least see if Justin Fields is going to be good. You have to make that decision before you have 2 number 1 picks next year. And I'm sorry, I like Quentin Johnson. I do like him, but he's not going to show you that he's good. You need to have some protection. You could barely, his first year you had Matt Nagy. So you could.
That doesn't count.
You
doesn't
couldn't
count.
see how, you don't even count that year. You couldn't even see how good he is. And then last year for half the games, how are you going to evaluate his talent when he has 3 seconds and he's got to run?
Very true. Combs, we do got some giveaways happening tonight. So the people that are on the live stream, tell them how they can get into the giveaways tonight.
So you guys can get into the giveaways. We're doing the comment of the night. We are doing, so you know how we roll. If you leave us speechless, if you make us laugh, if you have the comment of the night, you're going to win a prize. Well, you're also going to win a prize if, what was the other one, man? I forgot already.
If you go to betstamp.app/groups,
there you go,
and use promo code MANHOUR, guys, we will give you away. I will be giving you guys a jersey. Whoever correctly guessed the first overall pick, if it's Will Levis, that's what it's going to be. Banana himself. All you got to do is go to betstamp.app, use promo code MANHOUR, and sign up for at least one sportsbook book. Betstamp will actually give you guys money through PayPal to bet. They gave me $185, about 2 months ago now, and I'm up to $2,000. My wife wants a 5-carat ring, so I'm going to keep on betting through Betstamp. So for those of you guys that don't know, the same way travelers use Google Flights or Expedia to find the best prices, bettors can now use Betstamp to do the same thing. So when you place a bet, the odds on Sportsbet are on, Betstamp, they give you all the odds from all of the sports books, so you guys can price shop which game you want to bet on. So if you want to bet tonight, if you want to bet the White Sox to beat the Tampa Bay Rays, which I don't know why on earth you would want to do that, the way they're playing baseball right now.
Stop it.
But if you wanted to bet that, you can go to Betstamp right now, click on the Rays versus the White Sox, and you will have the best odds for everything that they are running from which sports book it is at. And then if you don't have a login on that sports book and you create one through Betstamp, they give you $30 towards your deposit. And most of those places will match your deposit. So basically you get $60 free from Betstamp. So it's a good thing. So check out betstamp.app. You can find Betstamp app on Apple iOS Store, Google Play Store, through your browser at betstamp.app. To access all these benefits, sign up using promo code MANHOUR and start your journey to successful sports betting today. If you forget to use the code upon sign up, you can always enter our code in your Betstamp account settings afterwards. Check it out. Betstamp app, promo code is MANHOUR.
All right, guys, so we do more than just this on the Man Hour, and today we're going to do a little bit of way or no way. Way or no way is simply just like this. We give a statement, and we up here say if it's a way or if it's no way. We let Combs go on his little crappy rant there, but now it's time for my man Fitz to give you guys some Fitz gibberish.
All right. Good evening, Bourbon Street, and welcome to another stunning bar edition of Fitz Gibberish, minus my basement, a diatribe, a conspiracy, and an island in the middle of unapologetic and mostly inaccurate sports talk. It's the first round of the 2023 NFL Draft, where GMs go to die. No matter what happens tonight, there won't be a lot of GMs getting sleep. Hell, it's close and impossible to have a great night for a GM tonight in the top 10 unless you get a franchise quarterback. That's why Ryan Pace, the Bears' former GM, you know and love, decided to trade away most of his number 1 picks. Yes, Ryan Pace, who talked like Xerxes from 300 but acted like George McFly getting stared down by Biff in Back to the Future, only had 4 first-round picks out of 7 years and gave us no first-round pick for Ryan Pohl's first draft. Kevin White, who was hurt for 5 years, who I already mentioned. Leonard Floyd, meh, okay. Mitch Trubisky, yeah. Languishing in Pittsburgh, who's gonna win the division, yeah, right. And arguably his best pick, the polarizing, I guess sometimes, Justin Fields. As Bear fans, when we hear the NFL draft, we go into full PTSD panic. Like Pavlov's dogs, when the bell rings to bring in the NFL draft, instead of salivating, it's like we get hit in the head with a damn hammer. Memories come rushing back of Gabe Karimi, the next left tackle to be of the Bears, who never played. Curtis Enos, who is going to be a workhorse, but he hurt his knee, and instead of making a comeback like any other back, was never seen from again.
I heard he just fumbled a clipboard.
Chris Williams, who literally could not walk. Another left tackle that went to die. And yes, Rashaan Salam, who fumbled more than Michael J. Fox off his meds, was addicted to marijuana. Who can't play football on marijuana? Yes, our draft picks can't even lose their jobs on heavy drugs like normal athletes. But it's a new draft. Predictions are flying around. Is New England going to trade up, Buck? Who knows?
Mike Jones.
Who is Carolina going to take? Bryce Young, maybe.
Will Levis.
Yeah. Ooh, Will Levis, you think?
Anthony
And
Richardson.
who in the draft are the Lions going to find to assuredly get suspended indefinitely? Let's call Matt Millen, huh, Combs? Yes, tonight is the NFL draft, everybody, and there is optimism in the air. My co-host Combs over there and his never-ending wisdom. If wisdom was thrown in a trash can filled with cement and thrown into Lake Michigan, said the Bears cannot miss on this draft? The Bears cannot miss, right? What can go wrong? Like 4th and inches at the 1-yard line, how could the Bears lose? They always convert 4th downs, don't they? But still, there is optimism in the air because we are sports fans, and more specifically, Chicago sports fans. We eat up pessimism, and we crap out an Italian beef sandwich with extra giardiniera. A trade by our new GM Ryan Poles, who's not afraid to talk to the media with the Carolina Panthers, does give us some hope. Hope is a dangerous thing for Bears fans. Many a fan, like my father, who is celebrating a birthday today, has...
Happy birthday, Mr. Fitz.
Yeah! Many a Bears fans has lost a controller or two to the hapless Bears. Today, we still have hope. I got them taking the mountain of a man in Paris Johnson, 6'6", 310 pounds. Who cares what 40 he runs? He's an offensive tackle and he's fat, right, Buck?
Right.
Let's just hope he plays. Let's hope he can at least walk. And let's hope he gets addicted to steroids instead of marijuana. Thanks, my friends, for coming out, and that's Fitz Gibberish.
All right, guys, that has to be hands down one of the best Fitz Gibberish I have seen in a long time. The Hitler one was
And now you
pretty
know
close.
why we call it Fitz gibberish.
But I want to bring out a few things that you said there here.
All right.
You want somebody to get addicted to marijuana and play well in Chicago.
Wow, I'm just saying, how could... It's not that heavy of a drug. I mean, I think aspirin is worse.
This is the same guy who hates athletes with cancer.
Come on. I never said that.
How
I'm
many
totally
games has
against
Josh
cancer.
Gordon played in the NFL since his drug problem was
That's
weed?
the guy whose name I was trying
Yeah.
to think of. Yeah, and he's done fine, right? Well, he did fine for a little while.
He's in
not
the
anymore.
XFL now,
Yeah.
and he just got benched.
I said inaccurate sports talk, didn't I?
Hey, it's all good.
Got benched in the XFL.
Yeah.
Damn. That's almost like going
But
to Kansas State to play college
But he
football.
was terrific for a little while. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. So you think the Chicago Bears are going to draft an offensive lineman?
I think the Chicago Bears are going to
So
draft an
are you
offensive-
heartbroken that they missed out on the Orlando Brown Jr.?
Yes, I was. I think we went. I said that on Twitter. Yeah, I was kind of heartbroken.
Even with how much he got paid?
But you're a Kansas City fan.
Yeah.
I heard, Orlando Brown Jr. might not be as good as some people think. Is he a left tackle in your mind?
I don't think he is as good as people think he is. He's not. He got paid $30 million or whatever it was.
I wouldn't have paid him that. That's why
Yeah.
I was okay with missing out on him. For that price tag, I was okay with it.
So here's the problem with Orlando Brown Jr. The Chiefs offered him $22 or $23 million last season.
Yeah.
He said no. This year we were going to franchise tag him. It's about $20 million, right?
Wouldn't this have been the second franchise tag, or would that be?
Yeah, so we franchised him the last year, and then we're
Yes.
going to franchise tag him again. So he actually took a pay cut to go to Cincinnati. And then he says that Patrick Mahomes, oh, you are my brother, yada, yada. Honestly, this guy can go poop himself for, like, all I care. I mean, because, yes, in the Super Bowl, he allowed 0 sacks. But also, the rest of the offensive line allowed 0 sacks.
Yeah, look,
it was a very sackless game.
If the Bears do go offensive line, I'm happier with that than I am with Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I do want wide receiver. I do want a weapon for Justin Fields, but I am okay with offensive line. I'm okay with another defensive lineman. But if you tell me at number 9, instead of trading back, they're getting Paris Johnson, I'm happy with that pick. That's a hit.
So Combs said that they have one of the best receiver cores last season. With Byron Pringle.
Run games.
No. Last season, when you said Byron Pringle, when he came, he was like, "Oh, these guys are awesome."
Oh my God!
Are you
And
making
now-
stuff up? Are you like what?
I
What
got
did
the
you
kid
do?
clues.
Did you hit your head?
We gotta get these cuts. We gotta get these cuts.
You
We gotta
you
get the
can't get those
Trubisky
cuts because
We
they're
gotta
not
find-
there. They don't
we
exist.
We gotta find the Trubisky
He's making
cut.
shit up.
I'm not. So we got Drew in the chat. What's up, Drew? What is up? Combsy Jr., Man Hour Nation. What is up, man? My Mark Lark Lewis is in the chat. He says, y'all doing round 1. We're going till, what, 9:30?
Yeah,
Give or take.
9:30, 10 o'clock, somewhere in that
So
area.
we'll probably get to about pick 20. So, guys, the draft is about to start here in about 5 minutes, and that is when officially the Carolina Panthers will be drafting Will Levis, banana eating himself.
You think Will Levis then?
I'm voting Will Levis.
I have to tell
Will
you, I
Levis.
was against it, but I went down a YouTube rabbit hole with him. I mean, he's
Yeah.
got. I thought he'd be the number 1 pick, but I don't know. I think a lot of people are thinking Bryce Young.
This is the reason why I'm going Will Levis. C.J. Stroud. I have inside sources at Ohio State said the only reason why he went pro this year is because he is not smart enough to graduate college. He would be academically ineligible.
Wow.
He got an 18 on the, what's the quarterback test that they do? I forget the name.
The
of it.
Wonderlic.
Yeah, the Wonderlic test. He got an 18 on that Wonderlic test. That is the lowest score of all time. The lowest scorer of all time. He is academically ineligible, and you want to take him number 1 overall?
Oh, I don't think
It takes a
What
smart
about
person to
Anthony
be a quarterback.
Richardson? Nobody's talking about Anthony Richardson. I think he might be the best quarterback in this draft.
The problem with him is he's coming off the ACL tear,
Yeah.
right?
54% completion rating. I mean, 54% completion.
Well, you have to look at the talent around him, right? Florida hasn't been good in a few years.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it's
look
not
at
like,
the
it's not like he was playing with.
Oh,
He
really?
wasn't playing with the same team in Florida that our guy, well, your guy, Mr. Prayer was doing.
What prayer?
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow, yeah.
Okay. Why is that my guy?
You love Tim
Tebow
Tebow.
could throw the ball. He's a tight end that played quarterback.
You guys kind of look alike.
His only season they allowed him to play, he had a winning record and he won a playoff game in Pittsburgh. And then he got blackballed in the NFL because he liked to pray on the sideline. So that need was not accepted, but another fee was.
He threw a screen pass to Brandon Marshall to win the game. That's what Tim Tebow
Did he? Did
The guy
well,
was
you
in his
said it right
prime.
there. He threw a screen pass. He threw the pass to win the game.
You got to get.
When was the last time? When was the last time a Bears quarterback?
I'm gonna rip your head off.
When was the
did
last
say
time a
Trubisky
Bears
was
quarterback?
Yeah.
When was the last time a Bears quarterback threw a pass to win a playoff game? Wasn't even Rex Grossman. The defense won those playoff
Hey,
games.
Trubisky would have won the game. The Allen Robinson.
It had to
but
been
then
Jay
the double
Cutler year.
doink him. Yeah, Jay Cutler, Seahawks.
Yeah.
2007? No, 2009.
2009, and then what? Then he was riding an exercise bike against the Green Bay damn Packers in the NFC title game instead of being on the field.
Which is the best team in the North, by the way. I just want to put that out there. But we do have a question coming in the chat here,
kill you
Combs.
right now.
Before we get into the draft here, he says, do you all think CJ falls past number 2? And
Yes.
if so, do the Raiders pick him up still on the board?
The Raiders make a good pick. They're going to go with a cornerback.
Listen.
And they're probably going to go with a cornerback from like South Dakota State.
Right.
Yeah.
If CJ Stroud falls past number 2, he will fall to the 15 or 16.
You think so?
I think if he slips past the first 2, he'll
I think
be one of those fallers.
At 2, if they don't make this trade with the
Raiders
Patriots,
not take a
I think the
quarterback?
Texans take Will Anderson at 2, and then I think at 9 the Bears actually trade back to 12 with the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans come up and take one of these quarterbacks that's available, whether it's Will Levis, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson. They come up and take their quarterback, and the Bears move back to 12, where they can still probably get Paris Johnson at 12.
Right. So, guys, we are a minute and 20. But is it?
We're back.
We are back.
We're
So
back. We got one pellet.
get your guys' comments in of who do you guys think is going to go number 1 overall. Sign up to BetStamp, and we'll be giving you away a jersey. And then if you guess the Chicago Bears, I saw somebody say a trade. Are we taking a trade as an answer?
For the Bears?
Yeah.
Are we getting another second round
It
pick?
really depends on what's going on. I mean, we were talking about this before we went live, is what is going to happen with these quarterbacks? Because before, when the Bears first made the trade to Carolina, right, when they first made that trade, I was like, man, maybe they moved too soon with all these quarterbacks and the teams that need quarterbacks. But now, I don't know that quarterbacks are necessarily going. I think teams are falling off of the quarterback train, even teams that need quarterbacks like the Houston Texans.
Well, I like
What
Davis
about
Mills.
the Raiders? Don't the Raiders
They
need
have
a
Jimmy G.
quarterback?
They need defensive
best
back.
looking
The
quarterback
Raiders
in the
need
league.
Don't you
everything.
Jimmy G is your quarterback of the future?
Listen,
You and my brother are you and my brother John are the only two in the room that think Jimmy Garoppolo
Hey.
is the answer.
Well,
let me
John,
ask you- let me ask
John's
you a
an idiot,
question.
and this guy stutters.
well, let me ask you a question. When Jimmy G plays a full 16-game season, where do the 49ers end up?
Yeah, you're right.
Championships.
He went.
He's
a winner.
He is.
He's a winner.
Even-
What do you know about winners? You think
Even-
that Joe Montana's the GOAT. What do you know
He's a
about
win-
winners?
Well, he won 4 Super Bowls.
He did play for the Chiefs, too. Only
Hey,
greatness plays for
let
Chiefs.
me
Oh,
ask-
yeah.
let me ask
And
you a
he was
question.
good on the Chiefs.
Joe Montana, he says Joe Montana's the GOAT. What's more, 7 or 4?
Well,
7 is more.
What's more, 10 or 4?
10.
Okay, so winning 7 Super
what's
Bowls out
more
of
is
10
he-
or
what-
winning 4 out of 4?
Wait, devil's advocate here. What's more, 4 or 0? Didn't Brady lose 4 Super Bowls?
He lost 3.
Montana?
How
He
about
lost
this?
3.
If you guys want to
An
go in-
accurate sports talk.
Since we are in Chicago here, let's get into this talk.
That's because he didn't get to any more than 4.
LeBron James is the greatest basketball player of all time. The reason for this is because he doesn't get knocked out in the first round.
You got people's attention now.
Listen, Michael
You are
Jordan gets
not
knocked out in the first round. He either wins a championship or get knocked out in the first round. LeBron James, what, 10 straight championships? 12 straight championships?
You cannot come to Chicago.
You can't hand check anymore in the NBA. You can barely touch
okay.
a guy.
You can't come to Chicago from southern Indiana in the middle of nowhere and start talking about LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan.
He is.
Hey, anybody who wants to come up here and take care of this, feel free.
Hey, I got my Aaron Rodgers jersey out in the car. I mean, I still own y'all. We still own y'all.
Go out
But
to the
guys,
car,
it
you're
is
not coming
officially
back.
8 o'clock on the East Coast, 7 o'clock here in Central Time. Draft has started. Panthers are getting their pick in, and Kansas City is buzzing. Fitz, can you see this? Because
Hey, if you guys out there want a chance to win some gear, make sure you get your pick in before the Carolina Panthers do. Comment it on the live stream what you think the number 1 pick is. We do have some sports memorabilia that is on the line for whoever gets it correct first on the live
Can
feed.
Bourbon Street get the NFL draft up? I want to see Roger Goodell's fat red face on the screen right now, lying to us all.
Brandon Combs Jr. just commented and said,
I know.
Buck is going to die in Chicago.
It wouldn't be the first time. Joke's on you, we're not in Chicago, are we? Like, where are we at?
We're in Chicago.
Is it
What?
a LSIP or
Did you
LSIP?
fall asleep?
We're Chicago adjacent.
Okay.
Marionette.
The zip code is Chicago.
Zip code is Chicago. Oh, here's Drew. Says LeBron James couldn't elect a sweat off Michael Jordan's stock strap.
It's true.
Sheesh.
Facts.
I wouldn't go that far.
No.
What?
But
Look, LeBron
It's
James
two
isn't
different
even as
eras.
good as Kobe Bryant,
It's two
let alone
different
Michael Jordan.
eras. Why are
Sorry.
we still
Because
doing
Kobe
this?
Bryant's not a top 10 player either.
Kobe Bryant is probably, I would say Kobe Bryant's top 5.
No.
Yes.
The only reason why you're giving him credit because he died.
Oh, my God. We're not going there.
We are going
Wow.
there. Larry Bird's better than Kobe Bryant. Wilt
Yikes.
Chamberlain's better than Kobe Bryant. Michael Jordan's better than Kobe Bryant. LeBron James
Wilt
better than
Chamberlain,
Kobe
I'll give you, but
Bryant. Shaq's better than Kobe Bryant.
Okay, this
crazy.
conversation's turning into Fitz
Yeah.
gibberish.
What? Yeah.
Basically, it's de-evolving. I did this. I blame
Are
myself,
you having a
guys.
stroke right now?
I blame myself.
I do smell acetone.
I blame myself.
Like they say when you smell acetone, like your sugar's not burning right. Nurse Betty, like when you smell acetone, like you're dying.
Let's rein. If I have to start reining it back in, it's getting weird. So Will Levis. Let's bring it back to there.
Bring it back.
So we got one voter ready for
why?
Bryce Young for the Panthers, by the way.
Bryce Young, which is probably a safe pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even
Go
though
ahead,
he's,
Fitz, you were saying?
I think you're taller than Bryce Young is, though. Do you think he'll be successful in the NFL?
No, I don't. I think Bryce Young is the new Tua. I think he's too small in the NFL. I think you're going to have a lot of concussion issues.
Talking about winners,
I wouldn't
Tua
take him
wins.
at number
Tua's
one.
more
Yeah.
mobile, but he's left-handed too.
Well, that's even worse. If Tua's more mobile, that means you have to stand there and take the hits. That's a problem.
Listen, every time Tua plays, he wins.
Yeah.
Though he's just like Jimmy
Every
G.
time Tua plays, I'm afraid we're going to watch a guy die on the field.
You can say that about anything, but Tua is a winner too. He has that it factor, something that many of the Chicago Bears players don't have. Is that it factor?
I just think there's a lot of ways you can look at a draft, and sometimes you can boil it down and you go, am I going to go with a guy with tools, or am I going to go with a guy who's polished like Bryce Young? You know, obviously Will Levis has all the tools and more. Or are you going to go with a guy like Bryce Young, who's definitely more polished, been in the big games, all that? Is that what you're seeing? Is that what your pick is? Do you more lean on tools than you do, you know,
I
experience?
lean on potential, because when you look at Bryce Young, right, he played with NFL players. Will Levis played with college players. Let's just be honest.
True.
How many players from Kentucky are going to go pro? I think there's like 2 or 3, maybe tops.
Yes.
Or Alabama
I've seen.
has 25. So, I mean, we've seen, I think, what
High
Bryce
floor,
Young,
low ceiling.
Right, yeah, that's a great
But how do
point.
we know how his interviews went too, right? Because how many North Carolina quarterbacks have we seen go in the top 2 before Mitch Trubisky got picked, right? Just because he blew away Ryan Pace in the draft. I mean,
He had a really good season that year. I think the Tar Heels went to a New Year's Six Bowl, right? They were undefeated, and they went to a big bowl.
You know what GMs who fall in love with these players, and that was I didn't make it into Fitz gibberish, but GMs who fall in love with players are bad GMs. You fall in love with a player, you should not fall in love with one player, really.
but wouldn't you
should
want
not.
a GM that has the balls to pick his guy as opposed to the guy who everybody else is saying is the best
Just
player on
because
the
it's
board?
your guy doesn't mean you have to love him.
Well, no,
At the
but
end
if
of the day,
that's
it is
your
a
guy,
business, and if
though-
you suck, you
Exactly.
suck.
Yeah,
Get out of
you
here.
suck. You
But
suck. I
whose
think that
guy
was
is the
Fitz.
guy that sucks?
I think-
Who's out there being like, you know what, my guy is whoever, and you know he's terrible, but that's my guy.
But I think that was Pace's only strength, is he loved a guy and he went and got him. Yeah, that did take a little bit of balls, but in the end of the day, that was his own problem too. That was his biggest problem too. He really wasn't good at anything else. He was not a scout of players. Ryan Poles is a scout. That's how he started.
Yeah.
You know, the Bears are one of the few teams that picks a GM who is never a scout. So, and then he'd fall in love with these guys and he'd draft up. And one of the reasons why, and I said it in Fitz gibberish, I mean, the first round of an NFL draft is where GMs do go to die, do go to lose their jobs. I mean, most of the time, unless you get a franchise quarterback, if you get a defensive end that's really good, they say, well, obviously he's good. They got him in the top 5 of the draft. He should be. Will Anderson's great. Well, obviously.
Right.
And if Will Anderson gets hurt and doesn't play for 2 years, you're an idiot.
Right. So guys, the first pick is in. Roger Goodell is coming to the thing here.
The 2023
So let's see what he says.
NFL Draft. For the first time since we took the draft on the road, we get to celebrate the draft in the Super Bowl winning city with fans
Hell
of
yeah,
all
Kansas City,
32
baby.
teams and the Chiefs Kingdom. As you can see, I have some friends on stage with me that you might recognize.
He doesn't have any friends.
They are Kansas City natives
that girl?
and love this community and their Chiefs. Give it up for Eric Stonestreet and Heidi Gardner of Big Slick, Kansas City.
Is that your sister? She told us the pick was in. She really did on the chat.
Yeah.
Okay, Kansas City, I'm so happy to be here. And it is my honor to bring to the stage right now Chiefs legends Dante Hall and Will Shields. Give it up!
Recognize that X Factor, baby.
Who?
The X Factor.
I thought you were a Packer fan.
On Tuesdays.
Oh.
All right, Kansas City, I want to hear you. Home of the Super Bowl champions. This is how we do it.
Has he got Down
I
syndrome?
get the distinct pleasure of
He's on an
welcoming
octave
two
level.
people you might recognize. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
All right, guys. So it looks like they're going to hype it up a lot here, for whatever reason, because I'm not for sure. When's the last time Chicago won a Super Bowl?
Patrick Mahomes.
We won it in 1985.
Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, voiced by Kermit the Frog.
Right.
Here we go.
He's actually been going through voice lessons here. But guys, it looks
There's
like they're
Travis
going
Kelce.
to that they're going to hype it up here for the
Michelle, did you get whiplash? My wife, I said Travis Kelce. My wife turned around quick
Yeah.
as hell.
So, guys, let me ask you this question before the pick is officially announced here. How bad did the Ravens screw up by signing Lamar Jackson to this 5-year, $260 million deal?
$52 million
I
a
can't
year for a
believe
guy
it.
who can't stay healthy.
Had a year and a half, a good year and a half
Yeah.
out of his entire career. Like this, I'm telling you, this does kind of screw over the Bears a little bit. You got,
Why?
got
You were
Lamar
hoping
Jackson.
somebody else in the North was going to get Lamar? I mean,
I'm
Wait,
just
wait,
saying,
how
you
does
have
it-
two running quarterbacks, two very good running quarterbacks. Well, I guess we can argue about Lamar Jackson, but you got two very good running quarterbacks who are kind of like Justin Fields, who just got two big contracts.
Oh.
Two very large contracts.
Didn't think about that.
I would have paid Justin Fields Lamar Jackson's contract today.
All right, here you guys go.
Here we go.
The Carolina Panthers are on the clock.
Oh, they're on the clock.
Your sister said the pick was in.
She is at the draft, so she's actually there. So they're obviously on some type of time delay
They
action.
can't be on a 10.
All right, guys, you guys still got time to get your picks in.
Yeah. Don't
Make
look
sure
at
you
Twitter.
comment on the live stream. Get your pick in. Whoever gets the correct pick will win something here. We got some sports memorabilia to give away.
You can tell them.
What's that?
Tell them what they win.
Oh yeah, tell them what they win.
Vanna?
I don't know what we're gonna give away yet. I'm just gonna pick something and throw it out there.
Well, if you get the first overall pick, you get a jersey of your choice. So
Yeah.
so
Oh, okay. Jersey of your choice.
You're
You'll get
also
your
gonna
size,
win
yeah.
a piece of Bears memorabilia that's autographed. That's what you're gonna win.
all right, so
Gilson.
No, not that
so
one.
you think Justin Fields is going to get a Lamar Jackson contract?
I'm just saying, you have two running quarterbacks, basically, more than mobile. We'll say running. Patrick Mahomes is a mobile quarterback, but he's not a running quarterback. You have two of them that just got massive contracts. What do you think Justin Fields
who
is
are
going to... If Justin Fields has a great season, this season. Wouldn't he get a, I mean, they still have the option for the 5th year, correct?
Right.
Or the 4th or 5th year. I have to look it up to be, I know, inaccurate sports talk. But you still get that, you know, you're probably going to have to give a similar contract. When the market is set like this, I mean, how much worse is he than Lamar Jackson? It's not by much.
Yeah.
And if he has a big year this year, you're going to have to get close to it. And when they set the market like this, it kind of pisses me off a little bit.
Pause a little bit. This guy just said that Lamar Jackson is better than Justin Fields. That is a complete false statement. Did you just say that?
That he's better?
Yeah, Lamar Jackson better than Justin Fields?
Well, at this point, he won an MVP. So he's
okay, that was by
obviously-
default.
Have
'cause
you
Patrick
watched
Mahomes-
Lamar Jackson throw a football?
Well, yes, I have watched him throw a football, and yes, he's not as good as Justin Fields in that, but he's played it on the field.
Is he as
We
good as
only
Justin Fields with
have-
the legs, though, too? You think so? I think Justin Fields might have surpassed him.
You know what I think about Justin Fields. I think he's the best running quarterback of all time. I don't think there's anybody that's been better than him. I think he's really good, especially against the
Give this guy
Philadelphia.
another beer.
Scotch on the rocks.
So I can't say either.
First things
You're
first.
painting me into a corner here, Buck.
Well, first things first, I would not classify Justin Fields as a running quarterback. He's a pass-first quarterback, run second.
He wants to be a pass-first
Yes.
quarterback. He just hasn't been able to. I mean, the guy was running for his life 95% of the snaps last year. I mean, so right now, yes, you could paint him as a running quarterback, but I think by the end of this season, you're going to be able to paint him as a top 5 quarterback in this league.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you 100%, and I don't think Lamar
I
Jackson's
have
a
to
top
see
15.
it happen. It hasn't happened yet.
Didn't he set some type of record last year, most rushing yards in a game and passing yards as a Bear or something?
Yeah, well, he set a lot of records last year. I think he was 3rd all-time in rushing yards for a quarterback. He just had nobody to throw the ball to either. I mean, they couldn't get his average time to pass the ball in the pocket in a 3-step drop. His average time was 2.7 seconds to throw the ball.
That's coaching. If you only have two seconds, take Byron Pringle, run a 2-yard slant
Byron
route.
Pringle was hurt for 17 weeks of the 18-week season.
This time last year, you said Byron Pringle was a game changer for the Chicago Bears.
I'm going to kill you.
Who is the carbon copy of the team you want the Bears to be this year?
They're the Chiefs. They're trying to be the Chiefs.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
The Philadelphia Eagles. The Chiefs' offense will not work with this team right now.
I think Justin
won't.
Fields could handle it.
Well, he could probably handle it, but their offensive line can't handle it. Maybe these new receivers that they're just putting together can't handle it.
Yeah.
The Chiefs' offense, and let's be honest here, can only happen with a certain amount, or a certain segment of players.
Right.
Like it's almost like that Rams offense of the early 2000s, where you have to have a certain segment of players to do it. Right now, the Philadelphia Eagles offense, a lot of offenses could take that on. And that was the other quarterback. You were asking who's the other quarterback, Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, yeah.
And Jalen Hurts just got a $255 million contract, 5 years. And then you got Lamar Jackson on top of that, who they totally overpaid for, because I think Jalen Hurts is better.
And what the Eagles did with Jalen Hurts is the blueprint for what the Bears can do with Justin Fields.
Which is a pass-run option, not a run-pass option.
Correct.
Yes.
They look for the slant, and then they want to run the option.
Correct.
So, which I think the Bears could sell on, because who is the running back they just got from the Detroit Lions? Was it from the Lions that they got that running back from?
No, they got him Atlanta Falcons.
The Atlanta Falcons,
okay.
Javon,
I can't remember his name. I'm terrible with names anyway.
I thought it was Montgomery.
No, David Montgomery went to the Lions from the Bears. Yeah.
Okay. So, guys,
he was 1,000-yard a year back, too. I mean, the Bears did not have a bad run game.
Right.
They just had a couple of guys, behind David Montgomery that couldn't stay healthy.
So, my man Patrick is in the chat here, and he says, I hope the Chiefs and the Jags bomb the draft. Sorry, the Chiefs and the Bears bomb the draft. Whatever, man. You do what you got to do, Jim Powell. He's saying the Bears haven't been relevant since George Winnity on Saturday Night Live.
Who said that?
Jim Powell.
All right, I'm about to ban him from the chat. About to ban him from the chat.
Deontay Foreman was the Bears running back that they got from the Atlanta Falcons, by the way, who actually has better numbers than Montgomery had. Rushing.
He's going to be a good back for the Bears.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a great back for the Bears. That's why you can push to the later rounds now that they got Deontay Foreman. You can push to the later rounds for a running back instead of what some people said to get Bijan Robinson.
Didn't the Bears have a 3-back system, though, last season? They were
Yeah,
like
pretty
rotating
much
guys through a lot.
They were
it seemed
rotating
like.
guys. Yeah, that's true.
They were, but for the most part, it was Justin Fields. I mean, David Montgomery had a couple of nice games.
Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack. No, not Khalil Mack. Khalil Herbert had a couple nice games. That would have been something. Khalil Mack probably could have had a couple of nice games in their run game last year.
Have you seen him hip toss an offensive tackle before? It's insane.
Yeah. So, they had a nice run game. They're going to have a nice run game again, but they're going to have a better wide receiving core. They're going to have a better offensive line. The Bears are already better than what they were last year. I think right now, as it stands before this draft, they're a 7-9 win team. Now, if you add
8 players in this draft,
if you add an offensive lineman or a wide receiver or somebody that will help you out on the offensive side of the ball, I think that could vault you into that 9-10 win team where you could compete for this division.
that's why I said Buck was important when I first stood up on the stage tonight. From an outsider looking in, Buck, coming to the south side of Chicago.
Right.
What do you see from the Bears? Do you see the same thing, or are you a little
So,
bit down or
funny
a little
thing,
bit up?
I did a pre-draft poll. I had the Bears finishing second in the AFC or in the NFC North.
Really?
You're
behind
crazy.
the Vikings. I have faith in the Bears this season.
Wow.
Now post-draft, we'll see how the Lions go, right? Because the Bears might be the biggest wild card in the division. If they get a receiver in the first round, I think Jordan Love is going to ball out this year. He's going to get that bag, and then he'll come back down.
Well,
be mediocre.
The Bears or the Lions are going to have to draft 6 guys to replace the 6 guys they just lost for suspension for gambling.
So the pick is in, guys. This is one thing I hate about the draft. The Panthers have had 3 months to pick their pick, and they used all 10 minutes. And now it takes 10 more minutes for Roger to go to waddle up to the stage.
How pissed off would you be if the Panthers trade the number 1 pick and get a better deal than what the Bears got that they gave to the Panthers?
That's not going to happen. That is not going to happen.
But
that's the PTSD that Bears fans have.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I'm serious. I think from the outsiders looking in, I think the Bears have a really good opportunity to win a lot of games because you have to realize that they have a very weak schedule this year too.
All right, so we got Bryce Young. Somebody got to vote in for Bryce Young. Anybody else got any guesses? Who's the number 1 pick going to be? What we got over here? What do you guys got over here? Will Levis?
With the
Bryce Young, Johnson.
In the 2023 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Bryce Young, quarterback, Alabama.
Let me get this guy's
It has been Bryce Young, and he will be going to the Carolina Panthers. So, obviously, Bryce Young had a very good career in Alabama. He
obviously
won a lot of games, but many say the dynasty is over in Alabama. Do you think Bryce Young can be successful in Carolina? I mean, they got a running game. They got some receivers now.
They do.
They
were kind of surprising last season. I mean, don't get me wrong, they weren't great.
Yeah.
But they were surprising for the team, some of the teams they beat and what they were able to do with, Sam Darnold? And who was their other quarterback? I don't even remember.
Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield, yeah. Wow. But anyway.
Only if Fitzgibbons would complain about a free gift.
And he gave it away.
God. Oh, man.
So many people are calling Bryce Young a Kyler Murray protege. Do we see a lot of Kyler Murray in Bryce Young?
I don't. Is he as mobile as Kyler Murray?
I don't think so.
I don't think he is.
I think he wants to be more of that pocket quarterback.
Does he play Call of Duty?
I think the guy that I'm reminded by,
Fortnite.
isn't he, and he might not be this, I'm not saying that he is this, but isn't it Drew Brees?
True.
I mean, isn't it Drew Brees, a shorter quarterback? He might even be shorter than Drew Brees.
No.
Drew Brees used to have to jump over the line. I'm just saying, from an accuracy standpoint, from making a lot of the passes, from a guy that most people say is too small.
Does this vault
Isn't
Carolina
it Drew
into
Brees?
their next 10 years, this pick?
Yes, I
Do
think
you really
it does.
believe that?
I don't know. I'm just saying, for a comp, just competitively, from athletically, what he is. I mean, Drew Brees never was as mobile as a Bryce Young, but I mean,
Bryce
he's going to
Young's
be a
5'8", by the way.
If I'm going to compare Bryce Young to any quarterback that I've seen,
is he more Rex Grossman than Drew Brees? Then
he's probably more Rex Grossman than Drew Brees. This guy, I've got to see him stay healthy in the NFL. I think he's too small to be a quarterback in the NFL. I think he's too small to be a relevant quarterback in the NFL. I don't think Bryce Young is a guy that vaults you into the next 10 years in your franchise. I think he's a guy that you're going to hope is not hurt by week 7 every single season.
So much like Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
So one thing that people forget here is that the Carolina Panthers got a lot better when they traded CMC. So they weren't such a one-player mold there. And plus they got a brand new head coach. They got their quarterback. They got some receivers. Do you think the Panthers could win the South now? Like, I think Bryce Young is a game changer.
Not.
They're not better than the Saints.
We want a top 10
The Saints
pick,
are going to
Buck.
be 0-17.
What?
They got rid of Andy Dalton. They suck.
They got rid of Andy Dalton. They suck.
Yeah.
They got rid of Andy
It's
Dalton, but
something no one ever
who did they
said.
sign as their quarterback?
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr.
Right.
A guy who puts up top 10 numbers every single season.
But has 0 playoff wins.
Because he plays for the Raiders.
Okay, still has 0 playoff wins.
Tom Brady would have 0 playoff wins if he was a Raider.
Andy Dalton, which is a Carolina Panther, by the way, has playoff experience.
Joe Montana would have never won a playoff game if he was a Raider.
That's false.
Jeremiah Murray, nobody questioned Tua's talent coming out of the draft, but his ability to stay healthy. Tua couldn't at Alabama, and neither could Bryce. I fear Bryce will get physically murdered. Buck, what do you got on that?
My thing is, we question Kyler Murray's ability to see over the line, and that's what we're doing about Bryce Young. His ability to see over the line and pass the ball, right?
People said that about Drew Brees, too, and he jumped over the line to get past it. Did Drew Brees ever have trouble?
Drew Brees wasn't relevant until he switched teams.
Drew Brees was an anomaly, though, too.
Till he got a offensive coordinator, offensive coach that could mold him, right? Roll the pocket.
It was a perfect storm. It was a perfect storm.
Now, who was the Carolina Panther coach again? Do you guys remember who they hired?
Nobody knows who the Carolina Panther coach is.
I can't remember who they hired. Who they hired?
Is it still Ron Rivera?
I'll remember in a second through Google.
I think it's Matt Rule still, since he got
Matt
fired
Rule?
No, he got fired week 5. He's a USC coach
Oh, am I wrong about this? It's not Frank Wright, is it?
now. Yeah.
Frank Wright.
It's
Yeah.
Frank Wright.
There's another offensive coach.
So Frank Wright is an offensive coach. Maybe he can mold. I
Backup
don't
quarterback
know.
for Jim Kelly came back against the Houston Oilers.
I don't know that Bryce Young is that guy, though. I don't. I'm going to have to see. He's going to have to. Same way Jalen Hurts, though. I was the same way with Jalen Hurts. I didn't think Jalen Hurts was the guy coming out of the draft.
It was because
I didn't think
from Ohio
Jalen Hurts
State,
was the
though.
guy last year. At the end of last year, I said they still need to find a way with Jalen Hurts. But what they did was they built around him. If Carolina can find a way to build around Bryce Young, he could potentially be a number 1 guy for you. However, how much faith do we have that the Carolina Panthers know how to build a team?
True.
They have built a team.
Can they draft a GM?
They traded CMC to get 2 picks, which in return gave them this first round pick. Like, in theory, they gave those 2 picks to the Chicago Bears to get part of this package.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sold on. I'm going to have to see it happen. The pick is in for the Texans. We're just waiting for them to come to the podium.
Okay.
Waiting them to iron on that jersey for C.J. Stroud, more than likely.
Really?
There was a rumor earlier, and you guys saw it in the
Brian
chat.
Richardson.
There was a rumor earlier that the Texans were going to trade this pick to the New England Patriots for Mac Jones, a first round next year, their first round this year, and a 4th round this year. So we'll see if that pans out. We'll see if the Patriots and the Texans figured something out.
If that trade would happen, we've already been seeing it.
Second pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select C.J. Stroud, quarterback, Ohio State.
Wow.
This is the biggest red flag for me in this pick.
times have we heard this?
That is so that shocks me. So I thought Will Anderson here, because they do have the number 12 pick as well.
Right.
I thought they would go Will Anderson and try to trade up.
With the 12th pick?
I like this pick. I like this pick for the Texans. I like C.J. Stroud. I think he's the second best quarterback in this draft. And I don't know. I think this is a good pick for the Texans. I really did think they were going to go Will Anderson. This kind of shakes up things for me here.
I had him with Will Anderson too.
So I'm not saying you have to be smart to play the NFL game.
Yeah?
I was a football player, and obviously I'm not very smart, right? You just got to know how to play the game. But being a quarterback for a team that obviously rebuilding, right? This team has nobody, right?
Yeah.
They traded away Brandon Cooks to the Cowboys. No longer have a defense, no longer have an offense. The only offensive bright spot that they have is a running back. I can't remember his name right now off the top of my head.
Where?
He was a rookie last year. But I don't think CJ Stroud is going to change the Houston Texans projection this
I just
year.
think with a team like that, as the White Sox go down 6-2, but with a team like that, I mean,
Shocker.
Why not take Will Levis? Why not build around him?
Yeah.
I mean, as toolsy as he is, the Texans, and if you say, oh yeah, he's maybe a few years out, well, the Texans aren't going to be good for a few years. They're not going to bring a quarterback in place of Manny. They're not like the Carolina Panthers that we just talked about, where the Carolina Panthers did have, they had some bright spots last year, and Texans did not have many bright spots other than when Lovie Smith won for the Chicago Bears.
Well, right now his number one target is going to be Robert Woods. So now with the number 12 pick, where I thought they were going to take Will Anderson and trade up, maybe even with the Bears at 9 to try to get a quarterback at 9, maybe they go Quentin Johnston at 12. Maybe they go with a top-notch wide receiver to beef up their wide receiver core.
Are you talking about the Texans?
The Texans. Yeah, why not go with a top-end wide receiver? You got Robert Woods, Nico Collins, and Noah Brown. Who?
Listen, I think Davis Mills is probably better than CJ Stroud. As Patrick says OSU quarterbacks always killing in the NFL. I'm not for sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing because OSU quarterbacks have a bad rap.
People say that all the time. Yeah. You know what drives me nuts the most about people talking about
quarterbacks are playing in the NFL now? One.
Name me quarterback university. Tell me one university that you know that has all the quarterbacks.
USC.
There's not one.
My brother John will say Notre Dame.
Yeah, but your brother John isn't very smart.
Yeah.
Wow. He's not listening.
He's not listening at all.
But
if I said Joe Montana, he'd listen.
Would the Texans have been better to trade that number 2 overall pick, stayed at number 12, and got a quarterback like Hooker from Tennessee?
No. If they want to get Hooker, they should have just kept Deshaun Watson. He loves hookers.
Wow.
Gunner's boss says Purdue is quarterback you. They had one quarterback in Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Who's quarterback you?
Who else?
Purdue.
Purdue is not who?
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees. Okay, Drew Brees. Yeah.
And what about neckbeard?
You could say that about Texas. You could say it about Michigan. They had Tom Brady. I mean, there is no such thing as quarterback you. When people say that a guy's not going to be successful at the quarterback position because of where he went to college, it's just a false statement. Because no quarterback, no university is just mopping up and producing quarterback after quarterback, number 1 draft pick after number 1 draft pick.
So Jim Powell says Houston will prove that quarterback is not the answer in Houston. The O-line is where it's at. So they need to draft offensive line. Well, I think Houston Texans has one of the better offensive lines in the league. Davis Mills was the fewest sacked quarterback in the NFL the last half of the season.
Well, let's be honest. The real problem in Houston is front office.
Which is fixing that.
It's not even. It's not on the field. It's not. They need a overhaul from the top down. They need a new front office, new GM. They really need a new owner, but you're not going to get that. But you need to go out and you need to revamp everything because they're not a good franchise.
So the Arizonas are on the clock here, and it looks like there's a trade.
Back up to number 3, it looks like, to trade up to the Arizona spot. Houston's going to move in to number 3, get number 2, go number 3, and have its pick of the top defensive player in the draft. The Houston Texans are moving right back up to number 3, Grady.
Wow.
The Houston Texans are taking control.
They're still getting Will Anderson.
So Houston Texans, if they knew they were going to move up to number 3, CJ Stroud is their guy.
Dude, if Will Anderson doesn't go here, does he fall to the Bears at 9?
No way. No possible way.
Who's going to take him?
Seahawks will take him. The Seahawks will take him, right?
You think the Seahawks take him?
No, the Seahawks have a really good defense.
I think the Seahawks are going Will Levis.
Well,
I think the Seahawks are going Will Levis.
I think the Seahawks are going quarterback as well. Because let's just be honest, Geno Smith played out of his mind last season.
But he's still Geno Smith.
Yeah, Atlanta's not taking Will Anderson. Atlanta isn't taking him. The Raiders aren't
They're
taking
not
him.
going quarterback,
The Raiders need a
the
quarterback.
Falcons. I know the Falcons, they are really high on the kid that they took.
Desmond Ridder.
Desmond Ridder.
Yeah.
they're for whatever reason they are high on him. They're not going quarterback, so they might go Will Anderson, but
Or maybe they'll trade back.
this shakes it up though.
So the Arizona Cardinals trade the pick, which therefore that resets the 10-minute clock for the Houston Texans.
Do we have what they got? Did they say?
But the pick is already in, so we will see here in a minute. No.
They're drafting Jalen Carter. No.
This, dude, I would be so happy.
They wouldn't go up.
I would be so happy.
What if they drafted another quarterback? They're like, we want a rookie quarterback competition.
If there's any organization in the world that would draft a quarterback at 1 and then a quarterback at 2, or I'm sorry, a quarterback at 2 and a quarterback at 3, it'd be the Houston Texans.
They could take Tyree Wilson, but I don't see anybody taking him over Will Anderson.
So when you think about this pick, you have to think about them. So they're sitting at number 11, right?
Look how happy the Texans draft room is.
So
they're like, yeah, we're going to have 3 wins. Yeah.
They were sitting at number 11. So for them to move up this high, it has to be that defensive player. It has to be Will Carter, right?
No.
Will Anderson. Yeah.
Will Anderson, yeah.
And it has to be him.
The Texans can completely screw it up. I mean, there is that possibility.
Well, the only time you move up is because you know a guy is not going to drop to you at number 11. And Fitz just said the Seahawks, the Raiders, the Falcons, all teams that could possibly need defensive players. So it has to be a defensive player.
It's got to be Will Anderson.
Yeah.
I mean, they're saying generational talent, and that's all I've seen from him. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't take him here. What are you going?
I agree with you, but if there's any other organization that can screw up a draft like the Chicago Bears, would you be surprised if they traded up to 3 to take Jalen Carter? Would you be shocked if the Houston Texans announced Jalen Carter?
There's no reason to do that. They can wait.
I agree. There's no reason to do it, but would you be surprised if they did it?
No, I wouldn't.
I like how the NFL is still sponsored by Bud Light.
Hey. Did my dad just boo us?
Yeah. All right, so Roger Goodell's coming to the stage here, guys, with the Houston Texans pick.
The Arizona Cardinals have traded the 3rd pick to the Houston Texans.
Wow.
With the 3rd pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Will Anderson Jr.
Yeah, makes sense.
Linebacker.
That's a good pick.
It's a good pick.
That's a good pick.
So I saw a stat where Will Anderson on his sacks to pressure, and they did like little spread chart. He was way right above everybody else, and the rest of the college football team was way down here. So he is a generational talent, hands down.
He's a prototype edge rusher.
He is the best player in this draft. The Houston's.
He's their new J.J. Watt, right?
He's probably better than J.J. Watt.
Yeah, you would think.
I mean, coming out of college, yeah. Now, we've seen players like this bust in the NFL, a.k.a. Javion Clowney. Do we see this at all?
You can keep going there. I mean, you got an edge rusher. They don't stay healthy all the time. I mean, I'd like to see how many years they are in the league on average.
Yeah.
I mean, it's close to running back where it's 2 or 3 years and then that's it. But
can you really bust in Houston though?
Yeah.
Is it more the organization? Is it really?
Have you been to Houston? I mean, it's in Texas.
The organization though, like, can an organization stop you from being successful?
Well, yes.
You know what I mean? Like, there could be a difference though. There could be true. There could be
that organization. How could somebody be sitting in the middle of Chicago and say such a thing?
But if Will Anderson isn't the guy that is having 4 or 5 sacks or 6 sacks or 7 sacks, if he is that guy that we just don't see the numbers from for the first 4 years, do we consider him a bust? But then he goes to Atlanta or he comes to Chicago or he goes wherever and becomes a superstar.
So on the defensive side of the ball, you have to look past the numbers when you look at a bust, right?
Yes.
Just because when he's on the field, I see number 67 on the right-hand side, I'm going to run left. I'm going to run away from him. Defensive players, you have to look beyond the numbers, look beyond the stats to see if they're being a bust or not. The reason why Clowney was classified as bust, even though he's still in the NFL, right? He's with the Browns still. He is just never healthy.
Yeah.
And that was one of my points too. Not only is he not healthy, if he's mediocre and you get him in the top 5, top 10 in the draft, that's why it's so hard to be a GM in this round of the draft. If a guy's mediocre and you got him in the top 10, you suck. If the guy's good, especially with an edge rusher like this, let's say Will Anderson is way above average, but not great.
Yeah.
No one's going to notice whether this is a good draft for the Texans or not.
Yeah.
They're just going to be like, he should be great. He was taken number 3.
Well, let's talk right now, though. Is this a great draft already for the Houston Texans? Did they already win the first round of the draft?
I would have taken Will Levis, but who knows how these quarterbacks are going to shake out, really, to Buck's point.
It all depends on
Who
C.J.
cares how he's
Stroud.
done? Yeah, it's all going to depend on C.J. Stroud.
I'm with you on Will Levis. I'm high on that guy. I think Will Levis is a stud.
It's a good draft. They identified a good partner to trade up to. The Cardinals did not need to be number 3. They're obviously all in on Kyler Murray right now. What do you think?
See, the problem is he's coming off an ACL injury. He is still squatting 500 pounds or whatever. I mean, it's easy to move 500 pounds, 4 or 5 inches, but we get beyond that point. The problem is new head coach, new GM, injury-prone Kyler Murray. Are they really sold on Kyler Murray, or do they identify a hooker at number 11?
Could be, but I don't know. I think this trade, doesn't it say that they're sold on Kyler Murray? Wouldn't they stay at 3 and maybe get a Will Levis or something like that to play under him? But I
do you know the details of that trade? I'm assuming they probably switched flip-flop first.
But Buck, that's why you're here. You know what Kyler Murray what he's squatting.
Right.
That's why you're here.
Well, I have a secret. I like his butt. No, I'm kidding. But my thing is, obviously GMs talk, right?
Yep.
And on draft night, it is all about mind games. All about mind
It's a bunch
games.
of lies.
If they flip-flop picks here, and they're at number 11 or number 12, there has never been 4 quarterbacks that have went top 10 in the NFL draft. That tells me somebody like Will Levis, if he doesn't go here to the Colts or Hooker or the guy from Florida,
Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, one of them are going to drop down to 11. And if they're not, then we'll find out if they're sold on Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
That is when we'll see if they're truly sold on Kyler Murray. If Jonathan Gannon thinks he can bring the Philadelphia offense to Arizona.
That's a good point.
With Kyler Murray.
And Anthony Richardson is a while off, so that's not a bad pick. It's not like Kyler Murray's not going to start this year.
So before we get the Colts pick, the trade, the Texans got number 3 and 105 for number 12 and number 33, a 2024 first and a 2024 third.
That's actually not that much. To move up into the top 3 pick,
you're
only giving up 2 first-round picks.
I mean, I feel like the Bears got more.
Yeah.
Because they got DJ Moore on top of those picks, right?
Yeah.
The Bears got those picks basically, maybe a little bit less, and DJ Moore.
Yeah.
Who does have a decent sized contract, but not anything that's.
I still don't think the Bears got enough for that trade, though.
Until they trade that number 8 overall pick.
Number 9.
See, he's off the mic, and it's that pick looks better and better all the time. I say that it's a good trade.
It is a good trade. I think it's a good trade. I just think they could have gotten more.
Colts pick is in.
With the 4th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Anthony Richardson.
Wow. Oh, quarterbacks are flying off the board.
Okay. So this guy is coming off fresh of an ACL tear. He was an MVP candidate, or sorry, not MVP, a Heisman candidate before he did tear that ACL. Colts have a new head coach.
4.40.
Jonathan Taylor's back. They still need some receivers, right, Combs?
They need some receivers. Well, I mean, they've got receivers.
They got Paris Hilton, and that's about it.
What? You're forgetting about... God, I'm so bad with names.
T.Y. Hilton was traded to the Cowboys.
No, not T.Y. Hilton. They got the kid I wanted the Bears to trade for. I'm telling you in 2 seconds. Michael Pittman Jr.
Oh, yeah.
They've got Michael Pittman Jr. They've got Alec Pierce. They've got Isaiah McKenzie. I like their wide receiver core. I think they could probably beef it up here in the draft a little bit later on. I love this pick, though. I thought Anthony Richardson was the #1 quarterback in this draft.
Really?
I do.
Okay.
I had Anthony Richardson 1. I had C.J. Stroud 2. Will Levis 3. And so for me, I really like this pick for the Indianapolis Colts. I think that they're going to be set up for a little while. They've got a great offensive line, a really great offensive line in Indianapolis. It's very underrated. And now, instead of having Gardner Minshew as their quarterback, sorry, Soup Boss, but it's instead of Gardner Minshew and Nick Foles running it, you're going to have Anthony Richardson. And I would say you probably start Gardner Minshew the first 3-4 weeks, and then all of a sudden Anthony Richardson, your starting quarterback.
See, that is where I disagree with you, because Gardner Minshew is a polarizing figure, and if you start him for a couple weeks, you're going to have to start him for the rest of the season because of the Indianapolis fans.
Would you be fine with that, though?
I would not be fine with that.
Why? If you're winning, the only reason why he keeps starting is if he's winning.
53% completion rating. He's not playing the first year unless there's a catastrophe of an
Gardner
injury.
Minshew and Nick Foles are your competition.
Nick Foles is no longer in.
You could beat out
MVP
Gardner
of the
Minshew and Nick Foles.
I don't know about Nick Foles, MVP of the Super Bowl. I mean, beat the 2018 Bears defense, didn't he? A double doink did help out, too. But
The double doink was a year after.
Well, Nick Foles was playing for Philadelphia when he did beat the Bears. Inaccurate sports talk. Here we go.
Jeremiah is in the chat here. He says, I've heard Will Anderson has a higher floor type of player. This is a safe pick. Carter is a superior talent.
I would say talent-wise, if we're just saying talent,
Yeah.
I would go with Jalen Carter.
Here's the problem I have with Jalen Carter. You have the off-the-field issue, right? The allegedly leaving the scene of the accident. You have the not showing up to pro day, right? And now you don't show up to the one day that's going to make your career. You don't show up in shape, and you're going to accommodate that, and you're going to tell this guy, oh, that's okay, and give him a pat on the butt, and now give him a top 10 pay. I can't do that for a guy, because what you're going to do is show this guy that he's invincible. Show this guy that it doesn't matter if you don't show up in shape.
Listen.
You are still going to be our guy. Like, that to me sends a bad message throughout your locker room.
Fitz, talent cures all, right?
It sure does. I mean,
why is Ray Lewis a Hall of Famer and not in jail?
Well, because he had a friend take the fall.
He has talent. He has talent.
He had a friend.
No.
He had a friend who told him that he was the one that put the body in the trunk. That's why Ray Lewis is in the Hall of Fame.
Because of his talent. His talent paid the bills.
The man had a dead body in the trunk of his car.
It was
Yeah. You can't even say allegedly.
So the Seattle Seahawks are on the clock here, guys. What do you think they're going to go? They gave Geno Smith that contract. They have DK Metcalf still. Tyler Lockett aging. They have a really good running game. They just signed Bobby Wagner back
Will
to a
Levis.
deal. You think they're going to go quarterback?
I think another quarterback's going to go off the board here. I think we're going to see Will Levis. And if we don't see Will Levis, I think this is where you can see Jalen Carter go.
So you think they're going to go defense or quarterback?
Yep.
What about you, Fitz?
I don't know. I mean, Pete Carroll, defensive-minded coach, he is creepy enough to take Jalen Carter at 5.
What do you mean creepy enough?
Well, he's got a weird pedo vibe going, doesn't he?
But does Jalen Carter have like a sibling we don't know him? Like, what are you getting at here?
I'm just saying, Pete Carroll is a little weird, and
boy.
He does have a lot of weirdness to him.
He is weird,
and he will take anybody. He'd flush his kids down the toilet to get ahead. I mean, come on. You're a big Pete Carroll fan, huh, Buck?
I don't like where this conversation is going, to be honest with you. But I think the weakness of the Seahawks last season was their defensive front. They have to draft defensive front to help Bobby Wagner be successful.
Yeah.
What makes a good linebacker? A great nose guard.
So you think Jalen Carter?
I think a defensive tackle, which Jalen Carter is probably the best one off the board.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're going to see. Anybody else have a guess? What do you guys think? Where are the Seahawks going with this pick? Anybody got a guess out there?
John,
you want another Adrian Amos jersey? I got better stuff back here. Don't worry.
should I go out there and ask?
So while we got a couple minutes before the draft comes in, guys, the Detroit Lions suspended 6 players for gambling. 2 of them have been outright released.
Really?
So Combs, are the Lions still the favorite in the division?
The Lions are not the favorite in the division. The Lions, for one, they traded Jeff Okudah, their number 3 overall pick 3 years ago, who just had his best season ever, and inexplicably traded him for a 5th-round draft pick. Then they had 6 more players that are getting suspended. They're getting suspended for gambling. They've got, like, everybody was like, oh, the Lions are going to win the North. The Lions are going to win the North. And the Lions were like, yeah, right, hold our beer. And that's what they did.
I got it turned down. So the first things first is the Detroit Lions, even before this, weren't the favorite in the division.
Yeah.
It's the Vikings division to lose. Let's just be honest about it. It is the Vikings division to lose 100%. So the only way the Lions can rebound from this is just let Dan Campbell be Dan Campbell, because they only lost 2 starters, one of which was Jamison Williams that sat all last year, maybe played the last couple games of the season, which I think he might be the modern day Josh Gordon. He comes in injured off the draft. He's gambling, which like, come on, like, you know the rules. Don't gamble, especially
Probably smoking pot. But no, you're right. I mean, you're right. He is maybe the modern day Josh, Gordon. Who knows? I mean, we'll have to see how this thing pans out after a while. I mean, have we heard a lot about the investigation that's gone on behind the scenes? I guess they're at the end of the investigation if they're already suspended.
Yeah, so there was an investigation because somebody from the Lions organization said, hey, our IP addresses are showing something in Vegas. So at that time, there were six players that actually ended up going to thing. Jeremiah, is that I'm saying right? Jeremiah Murray says Jamal Williams broke Barry Sanders' record, and it said, thank you, see you later. What was up with that? What was that, dumb?
I mean, look, it's Jamal Williams. The Lions just do that to people. The Lions don't want good players. The Lions don't want guys that are going to transcend their franchise.
Are you saying they don't want to be successful?
Correct. Yeah, they just find a way to lose. That's just what they do.
They think, hey, we won 8 games last season. How can we sabotage this? Because we like being on primetime TV once a year at 8 o'clock East Coast time with that 2nd overall pick.
And no, it's crazy that it happened to the Lions too. I mean, it is like it sticks to them. It's the same thing with the Bears and draft picks and quarterbacks.
They're
and
like the
wide
White Sox of
receivers.
the NFL.
All right, guys, so the pick is in here.
All right.
Let's see what's going on here.
With the 5th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Devin Witherspoon, quarterback, Illinois.
Wow. Oh, there he is. He's a consensus All-American from Pensacola.
So a cornerback, which they needed defensive help. I mean, I guess they needed a cornerback, but I would have went defensive line. I think defensive line is really what they hurt him last season the most here. But Devin Witherspoon, where's he from?
Is it Illinois?
Is he an Illinois boy?
Champaign, baby.
So you guys got a chance to see him. Is he transcending?
Illinois.
Is he a top 5 pick?
Well, isn't this Pete Carroll's MO to get a cornerback like this? When he had those guys, that was his heyday. When he had those guys in his defensive backfield, they were really good. And this is a guy that comes up. I just watched a lot of his plays last night, strangely enough, just because he's going for Illinois. But he comes up, gets the run. This could even be a weak safety if you want him to be. But he's probably going to end up, projecting as a cornerback. I mean, he fights for balls. He not only that, he's good against the run. Think about a Winfield who was with the Minnesota Vikings years ago. I can't think of another comp right now off the bat, but maybe even a Jalen Johnson who's pretty decent against the run, who's with the Bears right now.
Are you surprised here over Christian Gonzalez?
The thing is with Witherspoon, at least from what I saw, was that he's better against the run, and that's a Pete Carroll defense. isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
What was the name of the guys that they used to have in Seattle? The Legion of Doom?
Yeah.
I mean,
Legion
that
of
was
Boom.
a Legion of Boom. That's what was it about? Big cornerbacks, big safeties, guys who could come up and play the run as well as the pass.
Which they got to play the run in the NFC West, right? With the 49ers and the Cardinals and the Rams now. So
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
From Pete Carroll's. Now I would have taken maybe a quarterback or a defensive lineman, but.
So speaking of quarterback here, the Lions are now on the draft pick, and many people are saying that Jared Goff is a bridge quarterback into the future here.
Wow.
Is the future with them right
yeah,
now?
them being a bridge. I mean, maybe he is. I don't know. Jared Goff did pretty good last season, but to me, he looks like a bridge quarterback to me. I don't know if he has all those tools, but to not take, I just don't know with the Lions brass right now. I don't know if they're going to be somebody who's going to take our. Do we have a pickup? Yeah, oh no, we don't have a pickup yet. But anyway, I don't know.
They're still dabbing up.
I don't know if he's going to be the guy there, if they're sure he's the guy there. But is this the season to go for a quarterback for the Detroit Lions? I mean, is this going to be a time where they think that they're going to be able to develop a Will Levis? I'm not sure, or even a hooker, like you keep saying.
All right, so we have Brandon Combs out in the crowd here. Go ahead, Combsy.
Hey, so we're over here at a table right now. We got a Michigan fan, so I figure if we're going to go to the Detroit Lions, we're going to come ask a Michigan fan where the Detroit Lions are going to go in the NFL draft. What's your prediction?
It doesn't matter. I'm a Bears fan.
Oh, my Lord. How can you be a Michigan fan and a Bears fan? Oh, where are you from? You're a Michigan fan?
Why not?
Wow.
He
Jeez.
could do that. Maybe he likes Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, maybe.
All right,
Jim
so
Harbaugh, ex-quarterback of the Chicago
for a piece
Bears.
of memorabilia, who's got a guess on where the Detroit Lions are going to go? Joey Porter Jr. I like it.
Joey Porter Jr.
That'd be a good pick. That'd be a good
Another
pick.
cornerback?
I'd hate to see him twice a year, but that'd be a good pick.
But he's a cornerback?
You got a pick?
What about a wide receiver? I think they might draft a wide receiver.
Wide receiver. Don't take my
Another
guy. You're trying to take
wide
my guy is what you're
receiver.
trying to do. Fitz, did you set this up?
I did set this up.
He's trying to
for
take
you
Quentin
to
Johnston
fail.
from me.
So why do you think the Lions are going to go receiver? They already suspended 6 of them and they're not healthy, so they want to just add to the.
Yeah, so they need one. They need a receiver.
Okay. So are you thinking the guy from TCU?
Yeah, cornerback. Joey Porter Jr. is a cornerback.
Right.
I thought safety.
What's your name?
But he is a quarterback. Cornerback.
They already released a cornerback. They
did?
Yeah.
Andre?
And they signed the Slay.
Darius Slay,
Jr.
who's
Yeah.
older but still a great cornerback. Did great for the Philadelphia Eagles this season. You know, had great things to say, I guess, about Justin Fields.
Right.
If you remember that play where Justin Fields threw the guy off his back and ran down, when he did a twirl, he went past Darius Slay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So we have Andre here. Andre, where do you think the Lions are going to go?
Jalen Carter.
Oh, we got another Jalen Carter pick. Jalen Carter to the Detroit Lions. You're shaking your head no.
I don't know. He matches
where
up
we
well
going
with
with the
Hutchinson,
Detroit Lions?
doesn't he? Got Hutchinson on the edge. Maybe Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
Jackson.
He's gonna go in Jigba Jackson, wide receiver in Jigba Jackson.
They do take a lot of wide receivers.
I like that
You
pick.
watch football. What's your name? All right, so we got Derek here. Who are the Detroit Lions gonna pick?
I don't even know. Quentin Johnson.
So he's going Quentin Johnson from TCU.
I think that was a plant.
Yeah, that was a
I
plan
don't know
attack.
what you're talking about.
Quentin Johnson is
I
going
don't know what
the
you're talking
Kansas
about.
City Chiefs winning another Super Bowl.
Yeah, get to those back tables over there.
Yeah, there
There's
you go.
the brain trust. Oh my God. For those of you at home who are not seeing, he's literally walking around the bar like a bum asking to shine people's shoes.
All right. What's your name? All right, so we have Jason here. He's got a completely different pick. So Jason, who are the Lions gonna take?
Will Levis.
There you go. So we were actually just talking about that. Do you think he will sit though behind Jared Goff and Jared Goff? Oh,
The Detroit Lions have traded their pick.
Started at 3, traded to 12, and now is traded back up to 6 while getting an extra 1 next year from Houston. And they have wanted to protect Kyler Murray and make sure that he is a top priority. I will not be surprised if it's an offensive tackle.
I would not be surprised if it's Will Levis. right here for the Cardinals.
All right, so we're gonna change to the Cardinals, and he already shouted out his pick. So we're gonna let Jason make another pick. Who's it gonna be?
Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter to the Arizona Cardinals.
You
why they moved up.
think they're building an offensive line to protect Kyler Murray? Do you think Kyler Murray is the future in Arizona? No. So you think they're going to draft a quarterback later in this year's draft? Okay, I like it.
All right, so we got another pick here for the Arizona Cardinals.
So
Who the
they only
Arizona
got a
Cardinals
first
gonna
round
go
pick
with?
and a second round pick.
Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter. We got another Jalen Carter vote. Arizona Cardinals.
Jalen Carter.
Johnny?
If you say Joe Montana,
Brother
Hey, guys.
Johnny.
Johnson.
Guy's not even wearing
They're
socks.
going to pick a receiver.
Wearing a
Quinn
suit,
Johnson.
man. Wear some socks.
He's just trying to take Quentin Johnston away from me. That's all he's trying to do. All because Joe Montana's not the GOAT. He wants to take Quentin Johnston from me.
Johnny's going to wring your neck over there, Combs.
Johnny
you better
says-
watch it.
So Combs,
he is
while you're
choking
out
him
there,
right now.
DeAndre Hopkins has been a part of trade talks with the Arizona Cardinals all season or off season long. Do you think they go receiver and then trade D-Hop to the Buffalo Bills?
No, I think they're going with
Yeah.
the defensive tackle here. I think Jalen Carter's the pick here. Mostly because
Hey,
I don't want to see him
The
at
pick is
9.
in.
The
Pick is
Arizona
in.
Cardinals select Paris
Paris
Johnson Jr.
Johnson.
Ohio State.
No.
That's a great moment.
We don't know shit.
That was my pick.
All right, so
At 9.
So this tells me that what's his face on ESPN said that they want to protect Kyler Murray moving
They're
forward.
doubling down on Kyler Murray.
Yep.
Obviously, they trade the pick, and now they're going for Paris Johnson
Yeah.
Jr. here. They're doubling down on Kyler Murray. I don't know if that's a bad decision or not. We can discuss that, but I mean, Kyler Murray has shown something.
Yeah, I mean,
for the Cardinals.
he has shown that he can flow the pocket. He can win games, but his problem is Call of Duty comes out in November. That is the heat of the NFL season, and he starts to not be very good once November comes out.
along, yeah.
But there are teams out there, college teams that is lineman you, and this is Ohio State. This guy, Zen is his backup here, and Zen, he is 6'7", 6'9", or something like that, 320 pounds, and this guy towers over Zen. Can Kyler Murray see over a 7-foot lineman?
Yeah, so for those of you that are
He'll have to
fans
jump.
of the show, you guys have seen us. We've interviewed Zen Michalski. He's the offensive lineman over at Ohio State. And if you tower over Zen, you're a big dude, man.
Yeah.
Because that guy is built like a brick shit house.
Yeah, they were both over at my house like about a month ago, Paris and Zen, and I'm 6'3", and I'm like, yes, daddy.
Yes.
Like-
6'6", 310 pounds. I talked about
Yeah.
it on Fitz gibberish.
Yeah.
A mountain of a man.
Yeah.
Maybe the only guy in this draft that's a true left tackle. Is there any other guy?
He
in
would have
this
made it
draft that's a
okay
true
for
left
missing out on Orlando Brown. He would have made it okay.
tackle? Yeah, he would have. Like you said in the beginning of our talk. Were you pissed when they missed out on Orlando Brown? I was. Junior. Well,
Yeah.
Patrick says Kyler Murray is a chump.
Wow. That's strong words, man.
Is he a chump, though? I mean, because he has performed in the NFL. He has done well.
Yeah.
He just got hurt last season. Like, would you classify that as a chump?
I was a big believer in Kyler Murray, but he's changed my mind over the last season and a half. I've gone the
ACL.
opposite direction with no, it's just because of the way he looks on the field. Watching him on the field, he can't see over offensive lines. The guy, he misses a lot of
How
checkdowns
much
because
shorter
he can't
is
see
he?
over
Well,
offensive
well
lines.
let's take this back to Drew Brees. How much shorter is he than Drew Brees? Drew Brees was barely 6 foot, right?
But he was 6 foot. Kyler Murray isn't.
Man.
So,
2 inches matters that much?
Ask
I mean,
Holmes.
I'm Irish, so yeah.
Well, it did matter. I guess it did matter that much to a lot of different quarterbacks, including Rex Grossman. I mean, that was the biggest thing with Rex Grossman.
So the biggest
small hands too.
the biggest thing about the height is it's going to change your motion of your arm, right? So
Right.
he has to throw
You're right, Buck.
over the top every time to get it up there, right? He can't do the sidearm pass. He like he can't do the underhand pass.
Right.
He has to throw over the top. So that, in theory, takes away half of your playbook. You know, like when you're wanting to roll the pocket and you got to sidearm it, he can't because he's 5'9".
And you know that you can't count on him for at least 3 weeks after Call of Duty is released.
Yeah, we keep harping on that, but it is a
let's
true
go back
thing.
to that. Let's stay with that for a while. Is he that big of a Call of Duty fan?
So listen,
Although
this,
Call of Duty-
heard the story?
The stats are out there.
I never heard
Every
the
time
story.
the new Call of Duty comes out, he has not won a game in the month of November.
And that's when he's gotten injured.
Yeah.
And the rumor is because he misses team meetings, he misses everything when the new Call of Duty is
That
released.
was a part of his contract clause was that he had to have film study. Like they had to mark it down for film study because of that fact.
And he's being attacked by family. Thank you, brother.
Hey, while you're
Nice
out there,
refreshment.
wanna
I
be a
think
nice
I think
man?
that's the last thing he needs. John, have you heard his takes tonight? You're gonna get him another scotch?
Yeah.
My
I am
takes
very,
tonight.
very
I thought Fitz
affirmative.
was pretty good.
All right, guys, so we are about 3.5 minutes into the Raiders
Thanks,
pick,
brother.
7th overall here. We have about an hour left of the show, so we might get to pick 20.
maybe
Christian Gonzalez is the pick here. I'm telling you right now, Christian
I'm
Gonzalez
just
is the pick.
saying, don't the
110%.
Raiders need...
They're going Christian Gonzalez.
You're
Dude,
really
I
going
will
to think
bet
Jimmy
you.
G is the guy
Dude,
there?
I will bet you. I'm telling you right now, I don't think Jimmy G's the guy, no. But I'm telling you, they're going to go Christian Gonzalez.
Aren't those the stupidest things, those fat heads?
Yes,
Oh, my
I've
God.
never
they're just so
liked
stupid.
those.
So Jeremiah says, Doug Flutie is the winningest quarterback of that stature to play in the NFL. So that really says something. Doug Flutie was a little bit different, though.
Jeremiah Murray is always our comment of the day, and that's
Yeah.
got to be the comment of the day. But he was a guy who could move, who could be
Right.
mobile and move around. He was 5'7", 5'8".
So what are we saying of this stature? Is it underneath 6 foot? Because I feel Drew Brees has a better winning percentage than Doug Flutie if we want to go that
If
route.
you're going there, but wouldn't Drew Brees tower over Doug Flutie? I'm not really 100%
Yeah.
sure.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thanks, brother.
If it's underneath 6 foot, Doug Flutie is the best, right?
No, you're not getting one.
So, guys, the Raiders pick is in. I think they're going defense. You think they're going defense?
Jalen Carter? Well, if they're not going quarterback, they're going defense, yeah.
I don't think they're going offense at all.
Raiders?
They got Adams, they got Jacobs, they got Jimmy G.
They're going D-back.
You think they're going
I'm
D-back?
Christian Gonzalez is who they're taking.
Are you saying you saw
A lot
little
of people
foreshadowing?
had Witherspoon.
No,
over
I'm just
Christian
telling you
Gonzalez.
that I've said that from the beginning. That my mock draft, I had Christian
No,
Gonzalez.
they
for
were
Raiders.
foreshadowing it. They were showing a picture of him on there.
Oh,
that's
no,
all
no,
I'm
no.
saying. Got to be JC. Is JC Jason?
Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter. Yeah. Jason Carter.
It's not Jesus Christ. They ain't taking him.
They might need him.
He just retired.
How much time do we have here?
It says the pick is in. You got to
pick is
go.
in.
You got to go a little tinkle tinkle.
Oh, well, no, not yet. But I was going to go back here and talk a little bit about the Jets-Green Bay trade. We haven't really talked about
We
that
will be
much
talking about
today.
that here. We'll talk about that
Very
next.
soon. We'll talk about that next.
Because Aaron Rodgers does own this city still. So
Hey, real quick out there, Bourbon Street. Who's happy that we don't have to see Aaron Rodgers twice a year anymore? Anybody?
Yeah. We got one boo.
Are you a Packers fan?
That's my cousin over there,
Oh,
Julianne.
she's a Packers fan and you claim her?
Yes.
Hey, the Packers winning the division if they draft a receiver? Oh. Have faith in your boys.
At least she's a smart Packers fan.
I see it. 2-year build. Because they're drafting Will Levis.
Ooh, that would be. That would be strange.
That would be interesting.
I don't think Jordan Love
I wouldn't
is
like
their
that
guy.
pick.
No.
I don't think he's their guy either.
I think Jordan Love is going to play out of his mind this year. MVP talk, but then he's going to be average, right? He'll be a good average quarterback.
Yeah, I think. No, I mean, Jordan Love, what I've seen in the preseason, and I can only go on the preseason really
Right.
in just a few times. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has been healthy. One point of that, I think Jordan Love looks okay. I mean, I don't know yet.
Right.
We won't know yet until he gets thrown in the game. But do you think?
2023
Okay,
NFL
here we go.
Draft. The Las Vegas Raiders select Tyree Wilson.
Tyree
defensive
Wilson,
end,
that's what I was going
Texas
to say,
Tech.
edge rusher. I was just going to say that. I had him going 3 to the Cardinals.
But they got the edge runner from the Cardinals last season. What's his name? Chandler. Is it Chandler Jones?
Chandler Jones, I think you're right.
Yeah, but see, I saw a stat somewhere. Every first-round pick from the Las Vegas Raiders since 2013 is no longer on their team. They're either in jail or have been traded.
Chandler Jones, Tyree Wilson, he's the second edge rusher. Some people had him above Will Anderson.
Right.
I didn't, but yeah, Tyree Wilson, he's your guy there. I don't know if the Bears might have taken him if he dropped to 9 or not, and maybe
Do
this
the
takes
Bears
another
need
guy away
an
from the
edge rusher,
Bears.
though? Because
I believe
they run a
they
4-3,
need
right?
everything. They do run a 4-3, yeah.
So-
But I mean, the Bears need everything on defense. That's why I'm saying just let the defense be what the defense is going to be this year. And you're already committed to the offense. For the Bears, just keep going offense. But we are talking about the Raiders right now. I think this is an okay pick for them.
So
I mean, you said defense. You had it right on. I think we were a little off on whether it'd be a cornerback or not. But Tyree Wilson, he's a beast, man. 270 pounds. He has the fit for an edge rusher, a larger edge rusher, not one of the smaller 230, 240 guys like a Leonard Floyd, but one of the bigger edge rushers. What do you think, Buck?
So when we go into the draft here, we have to think, do you want to fight fire with fire, as in cornerbacks with the passing game of the Chargers, the Broncos possibly now, and then the Chiefs, or do you want to put pressure on that quarterback?
Exactly.
And they obviously want to get in the face and put pressure on Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, and obviously Russ as well. But I don't like this pick because of the simple fact, because let me take that back.
What is your importance that you, let's back up then. What is your importance you put on an edge rusher to you? Because the NFL is saying edge rusher is 2 or 3 when it comes to importance.
Right.
Almost right after quarterback.
Right.
Do you think the same way, or are you kind of...
I think the edge rusher is very, very important in a 3-4 defense, right? Which that's what the Raiders run. They run a 3-4.
Oh, okay.
But
so he's probably going to be outside linebacker.
Yeah, so he needs to be very physical. He needs to be able to extend the arms and basically keep Patrick Mahomes in the pocket, keep Justin Herbert in the pocket. Now, watching his highlights here, he likes to run up the field a lot. He likes to go after the sack a lot. And unfortunately, you can't do that versus the Chiefs. You can't do that versus the
And he's going to have to drop back into coverage. You would think sometimes. Khalil Mack did it all the time for the Raiders, and he was able to do it because Khalil Mack is, well, a freak of nature.
Yeah.
But is Tyree Wilson going to be able to do that? As I go to the pages, we're still look at his 40 times. I mean, I didn't see anything that jumped out of the page that he would be able to cover, but he's going to be covering, 20-30% of the time, you would think, as an outside linebacker there.
Well, also in the Big 12 is where he played. The Big 12 has kind of converted into this pass-happy conference, right?
So he might have had to do that
everybody is
anyway.
passing the ball. And especially coming from Texas Tech, they're passing you, right? I mean, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 yards over and over and over again. It just, at some point, you're kind of like, can the Raiders ultimately score on a first-round pick? And I think they missed here, unfortunately. Like, I just don't think he is going to be the game changer.
My draft Bible, the Libby Sports Pro Football, has him number 6, has him as the 6th defensive end, Tyree Wilson, going in the second round, a 4.7 6.40.
So they had him projected as a second round.
As a second rounder, the number 6 edge rusher, he's obviously taken here as the second edge rusher in the draft, unless I missed something or had a seizure halfway through. So he's the 6th, and they had him going in the second round and later in the second round too. He is a guy whose stock has gone up.
So who is the Raiders coach right now? Josh McDaniels, right?
Yes.
What does Bill Belichick like to do? Take second, third rounders in the first round.
Yeah, you're right about that.
So are we starting to see some type of correlation? Double tied inset, like a nice mediocre quarterback, a solid running game, and now getting second, third round picks come up to the first.
The more I look at this, the more
Patriots
I might
2.0.
not like the pick. Yeah, Patriots 2.0. And it's weird that he went to the Raiders, too. Do you think he would have liked to go to the Colts a few years ago when he hang the Colts out to dry? When he pulled back, he said he was going to be the coach of the Colts. And then he pulled back. They got Frank Wright. End of story. He pulled back, though. He said yes and then said no and stayed with the Patriots, won another Super Bowl. But I don't know. Would he have been better in the Colts organization?
Hindsight's 20/20, right?
Hindsight is 20/20. 2020, but what's more dysfunctional, the Indianapolis Colts or the Raiders right now?
I bet you he has more leverage at the Raiders, though.
You would think.
So we have Brandon Combs out in the crowd there. Brandon. What are you doing out there?
What do you got out there for us, buddy?
I'm just talking right now, waiting for this pick to get
This
in
is
so we
like-
can talk about the
this
Bears.
is- this is
the
like-
only team that matters, damn it.
Okay, so who do you think the Falcons are going to go in this year's draft?
For the Falcons, I really think that if they don't go quarterback, which I think they should go quarterback. I know they like Desmond Ridder, but I'm just not a big believer in him. But they're probably going to go defense here somewhere. Like, it's a toss-up with them because they could really go anywhere.
So there
Could they
was a
draft
Falcons
GM?
defensive tackle, forget his name, but he says they have the best defense in the NFC South. And if they add a defensive tackle like Jalen Carter to their roster, could they win the South?
They have the best defense in the NFC South for the last 5 years for 3/4 of every game.
Hey, it's 3.5.
That's what the Falcons are. They play 3/4.
Come on, bring the microphone over to Beard over there.
I think the Falcons are going to pick Quentin Johnson from Kansas City.
All right, so the pick is in for
Here
the
we
Falcons.
go.
Roger Goodell is waddling up to the stage. And we'll see what...
Caroline. He seems to enjoy the Neil Diamond, and who among us does not?
Ginger, Roger Goodell.
Roger Goodell allowing the crowd
I don't
to
hear him
continue
booing
with
them.
the chanting back.
Not as much this year,
There.
no.
Popular in
Lions fans got to
many
boo.
ballparks. Here we go. Here's Roger Goodell.
For the Atlanta Falcons pick, I'm joined by Chris and Shane from Big Brothers Big Sisters of Kansas City.
Will Levis?
Chris and Shane are a true
Now they go
testament
defense.
to the power
It's
of
gotta be
mentorship.
defense. Or a
The
receiver.
NFL and its teams work closely with Big Brothers Big Sisters of
They traded
America
Crabbe and
as
Ridley
part of
to the
our work
Jaguars, so
on
they're-
social justice through our initiative, Inspire Change. The Falcons are big-time supporters of the organization, and they're thrilled to have Chris and Shane making their pick.
That kid is nervous.
Okay,
as heck.
guys, take it away.
Bears.
5-2.
5-1. Here we go. Hotlanta.
With the 8th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Bijan Robinson.
Whoa.
Texans.
Whoa. You never take a running back in the first round unless it's number 31 or 32.
I had
What?
Atlanta taking Bijan Robinson.
Oh, you had him going number 8. Fitz
I
had
had
him
him
going
going-
at number 8. Bijan Robertson.
What in the hell just happened?
The
You
Falcons-
saw a running
going
back
8.
go 8?
Wow.
What does Mel Kiper say? Never take a running back in the first round. Although Mel Kiper does look like a congressman who would text an underage woman a piece of his body. A picture of a piece
So
of his
the
body.
only reason why you would take a running back in the first round is if you moved up to number 31 or 30 or below for the fifth year option. That is it.
Someone was
At
going to take
number-
Bijan Robinson.
At number 8?
Well, the thing is, and what's even worse about this is the running back is really deep in this draft, super deep in this draft. You do not need to take Bijan Robinson here. You can get a guy similar.
All right.
The Bears traded.
Yeah, so the Bears and the Eagles have traded draft picks here. So
Wow, so we're not going to get a pick for the
yeah, so kind of confused what the Bears are going to do here, but
Oh,
Bijan Robertson is a good multi-threat athlete. And and just like I said, the only reason why you would take a running back in the first round is for that fifth year option. You use them and abuse them. But at number 8, that is asinine.
He is a special running back,
Yeah.
though. Can break tackles. What the 1 year when he broke out, he had 8 yards per carry.
Right.
A really good running back, a really tough running back, and can do everything. Can block, can catch, can do everything. Go ahead.
Hey, so the Bears made this trade with Philly. Philly's going Jalen Carter here, right? I mean, all these guys here think Jalen Carter's going right here to Philly.
They lost Slay in off season. They lost another safety. What?
Christian Gonzalez?
If they're going
That
defense,
makes
they're
a
going
lot of
secondary,
sense.
I think.
That makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. But I mean, Philly already has 2 tackles, don't they?
Hey, Fitz.
They already have it.
Hey, use your
Fletcher.
computer there and find out what the Bears got in this trade.
Okay, bringing it up right now.
They
They're
got
only going down to 10, so.
They just flip-flop picks.
Yeah.
Well, right, but there's got to be something.
I want a second rounder.
Are they going to trade again?
So when we think about this, the Eagles, pretty good defense, right? Arguably a top 10, top 5 defense in the league.
Bears get the, right now all I'm seeing is Bears get pick number 10 and a 4th rounder in 2024. That doesn't make much sense.
You're only trading down 1 pick. So you swapped picks and then you got an extra 4th rounder next year.
So this tells me that the Eagles want a defensive tackle, a defensive end.
Because
that's what the Bears want, right?
Do the Bears trade again?
People have them selecting Jalen Carter, the Eagles. A lot of people are saying on Twitter right now.
Yeah.
Into the Twitterverse.
So Jackson Smith and Jigba and Quentin Johnson will both be on the board at 10 is what you're telling me, Fitz.
There we go. This guy.
Do you think the Eagles are going to take Quentin Johnson, sir? It doesn't matter what you think.
Beat him up, John.
So Brandon Jr. here says this is why the Falcons suck, because of their running back selection there. So let's go back to the Falcons here. They have Cordell Patterson. Pretty good running back, right? You can use and abuse him. Why do you draft a running back at number 8?
It's like the Lions who draft a wide receiver year after year after year after year and then put him into obscurity. That's what the Falcons are doing with running backs right now.
So the Eagles pick is officially in. We're just waiting for them to iron up that jersey, get the hat. So you guys think they're going defensive tackle, right? Is that the consensus out there? Defensive tackle, defensive end? It would make the most sense to me. Probably it's got to be Jalen Carter, right? Hey, Jalen Carter has to stay home because he's on probation. So maybe that's why they moved up.
I'm going to ask Captain TikTok over here.
Hey.
I'm going to ask Captain TikTok.
We can do the jigga.
Where do we we can do a TikTok dance. Where do you think that the Philadelphia Eagles are going? Are they taking Jalen Carter?
I think so.
He's going Jalen Carter. He's wearing the eye black and everything.
If
he
you
just
get
got
this
done pitching a
wrong,
no-hitter.
no dates.
He's talking to a guy.
No. Hey, look. First of all, he's sitting next to my daughter. So if we're talking about dates, I'll kill you.
Just so everybody
And
knows that
him.
all Brandon's talking to somebody with face paint on, who's probably related to.
So we're still waiting on for the Philadelphia Eagles to come in. The Chicago Bears are coming up next. Guys, if Jalen Carter goes off the board here, do the Bears still draft defensive tackle?
I don't think so.
We got Doubting Thomas checking in. Bears should trade down again.
I agree. I think you trade down and try to get into the mid-teens, low 20s.
For what?
I'm going to say it again, Jackson Smith and Jigba or Quentin Johnston. Wide receiver. I really think that's where the Bears are going. And it shows more and more. I know this isn't just me wanting my pick. This is me being realistic now. The more you keep trading down, what else are you trading down for?
How many picks are you going to have next year now? You can even trade down with one of those first-round picks. I don't think Carolina's going to win the division or do what Buck thinks he's going to do. I think Carolina's a top 10 pick
You
right
think
now.
they're going to do a Bill Belichick and just completely trade out of the first round?
Who knows? Next year they have 2 first-round picks. That'd be hard to trade out. But still, I mean, and Brandon Jr. right now is saying, "Get him, Dad."
All right, so the pick is in here. Rod Goodell is booing.
There we go.
Getting booed.
The Chicago Bears have traded the 9th pick to the Philadelphia Eagles. With the 9th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Jalen Carter, defensive tackle, Georgia.
Does this make the Eagles favorite to repeat in the NFC?
I guess. I mean, I don't know why they're taking a... I don't know. Was a tackle that big of a need for the Philadelphia Eagles?
I don't think it was that big a need, but at the same time, you're kind of in that position where you got to take the best available player, right? But do you move up to take the best available player? I don't think so. So maybe that tells you that maybe one of their defensive tackles are no longer going to be on the team. Maybe he's going to retire or something to that effect.
It's possible. I mean, I thought they were pretty tight at tackle in Philadelphia, but maybe that's what they. I don't know. Maybe that's
Never
what
mind.
they need.
There will not be a trade. The pick is in for the Chicago Bears.
The pick is in. There will
Who are the
not
Chicago
be a
Bears
trade.
going to pick?
Christian Gonzalez.
We got one for Christian Gonzalez.
Gonzalez.
Who do we got for the Chicago Bears right now?
I still got an offensive tackle. Maybe the kid out of Georgia.
Peter Skoronski.
Peter
We
Skoronski.
got one.
He must have looked
Peter
at Twitter.
Skoronski.
Look at
We
that
got
Twitter.
one Christian Gonzalez. Where are the Bears going to go?
Maybe Broderick Jones out of Georgia.
These guys already think the Bears fucked it up. We got another vote over here for Peter
That guy
Skoronski.
is
what's your name?
huge. He had to duck through that doorway.
We got Sue over here is going with Peter Skoronski as well.
What about?
Oh, really?
He's a Chicago boy, isn't he?
So you'd be really excited.
What about the Van Ness kid? Do you know anything about him
I
out
don't
of
know
Iowa?
nothing about him. Don't know
He's
nothing
an
about
edge
him.
rusher too for the Bears. I don't know if they
Hey,
want to
guys.
go that way.
Hey, I've traveled all the way to Mitchburg. All the way to Mitchburg to try to find out who the Bears are going to do. What are the Bears doing over here? The pick is in.
The Northwestern offensive line.
So we got another vote for Peter Skoronski.
Skoronski.
Peter
They
Skoronski,
just
another
don't-
vote.
They just don't have him as a left tackle. I guess if you're taking him, you're thinking right tackle maybe with
Hey,
him. maybe
now's your
guard.
time to shine. Now is your time to shine, John. You've been saying it all night. Who are the Bears going to pick?
Offensive line.
He just says a position.
Hey, listen, this is what, Combs, this is what you said the Bears needed all offseason. They need offensive line to protect Justin Fields. They need
I mean,
offensive
maybe
linemen.
Broderick Jones out of Georgia. He's the only other guy that I think could be a left tackle. 'Cause
Hey,
he has the
we
size,
talk all the
6'4",
time.
310.
We talk all the time about royalty. So I got my dad here right now who is going to tell us that the Bears are going to take a wide receiver. So who the Bears going to take?
The wide receiver.
Attaboy.
Peer pressure.
And you guys got
How
an
much
idea?
did he pay you for that, sir?
Who wants to pick the Bears next? Hey, there's an autographed jersey for whoever gets it correct. So we got the tackle from Tennessee. Anybody know last name is Wright, maybe? The offensive tackle from Tennessee.
Yeah, Darnell Wright.
Darnell
he is a
Wright?
right
All right.
tackle. That's if they think Braxton Jones is going to be a good left tackle for him. Then they're investing in Braxton Jones. I don't know if I invest in Braxton Jones at this point. A guy they got in what, the 4th round?
Well, what you guys need to do is invest in Cody Whitehair.
Great
my
guard.
man from Kansas State.
No, and he's a great guard.
Move
He's
him
beautiful.
to center.
I've been
Yeah.
saying that for
Yeah.
years. He had a few problems like hiking the ball
Yeah.
to the quarterback. That can be worked out. He was a
Right.
great center for them for a couple
Hey,
years. Yeah,
hey
no, I
guys,
totally agree,
we
Bob.
got Jim over here who also says the Bears are going to take Peter Skoronski. We got a lot of people saying Peter Skoronski.
Got a lot of
If the
Peter
Bears do not pick Quentin Johnston, I'm going to riot.
Don't worry, trolls don't come
It's
out
gonna be
till
a
midnight.
it's going to be a one-man riot. It's going to be like an old school. You're going to be the one streaking by yourself.
Hey, we got a birthday in the house, so happy birthday to Dan over here. Everybody, give it up for Dan.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear
Dan.
Dan.
Happy birthday to you.
Our next job is going to be at Chili's, everyone. we're going to be doing.
Man, this is what upsets me about the draft. How long does it take to iron on a name on the back of a jersey?
I know.
Like, the pick's been in for 15 minutes here.
Yeah.
And we're watching highlights of this Georgia guy still.
We really are.
Sheesh. I don't know. That's all right.
He is a beast, though.
After this pick, we're going to talk some Aaron Rodgers.
And we were talking talent-wise.
Yeah.
We're saying he was the most talented defensive lineman in the draft. I
Right.
still believe that he is. Maybe he has an edge over Will Anderson. You do have problems with the guy who shows up, like I said, like John Belushi on the set of SNL back in the 70s. Like, you do have a problem with that. That is a problem.
Hey.
But when you need...
We got a question over here.
All right.
You don't think the Bears will pick that long snapper from Wyoming?
Listen, didn't the Eagles or somebody take a kicker in the 4th round last year?
I mean, the Bears
Yeah.
probably would have
The
traded
Bears-
up to 3 to get a
The
kicker.
Bears took a punter with their last pick last year.
Yeah.
What's the population of Wyoming? 400,000 people?
So listen, I actually YouTubed this last night because I was pretty bored at work. The population of Wyoming is underneath 1 million. The population of Denver is 5.2 million.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
there's
there you
literally
go.
more people in the city of Denver than the whole state.
Than the whole state of Wyoming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Montana's got about 1 million.
And 80% of them live in Cheyenne.
Yeah.
And travel to. All right, so the Bears pick us in.
Or Jackson.
The Chicago Bears
go.
select Darnell
Darnell Wright,
offensive tackle.
There we
with
go.
Tennessee.
That guy right there got it. There you go.
Wow.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
Right tackle. So they are doubling down on Braxton Jones, I guess. Not always a
I
good-
did not get to watch a lot of Bears football last year being in Southern Indiana. I got a lot of Ravens, which is crap.
Yeah.
But is Braxton Jones that bad?
I think he's he's like one of those guys, he has all the tools, but he wasn't in a Division I school. He just wasn't. He didn't go against the right talent. His upper body strength wasn't as good, but they said that's something they could deal with.
Right.
I'm not sure Braxton Jones. Pro Football Focus said he was okay, but how do you judge a guy when you have the most dynamic QB in the league playing behind him? How do you judge a guy when it's he blocked somebody for a certain amount of seconds?
Right.
Yeah, that's because Justin Fields was throwing defensive ends off his shoulder at the time. Like
But were they coming from the left side or from the right side?
They were
coming from the right side.
They
most
were.
of the time.
No,
So,
you're
yeah.
right. So you've obviously
Yeah.
watched a couple
Right.
Bears games.
Right.
Why did you do that? But anyway.
But see, my problem with this pick is this is another run-blocking offensive lineman. This is a guy who was not graded very well on the pass, and this is another typical Bears offensive lineman who just run blocks.
Never
And-
gave up a sack, though. Never gave up
Well,
one sack. this
yeah, but I mean,
entire season.
you're-
But
you're-
he is on the right side. He was on
Yeah.
the right side a lot this season.
What do you want the Bears to be good at, running or passing? It can't be both. They're already okay
It
at running, so
absolutely
why not
can't
make
be
them
both.
great?
What are you talking about? It
No,
can't
they
be
can't.
both. What the hell? You're a freaking Chiefs fan.
Exactly. We're good at passing. We suck at running.
I hate you.
They don't even have Darnell Wright as an offensive tackle in my little book here. They have him as a guard. But he was an offensive tackle. He was a right tackle. I think that's what he's going to be. He's going to be a right tackle for this team. This team is obviously thinking run first.
Right.
They're going to jump up on the run. They're probably going to get a running back in the 3rd or 4th round. The running back is probably the deepest in this draft. That's why getting Bijan Robinson at 8 was
You
insane.
were already a top 5 running team.
Yeah, but you got rid of your
can't
top
pass
back.
block.
You got rid of your top back. They obviously are doubling down on Braxton Jones.
Yeah. So
I apologize to everybody in the crowd when I said the Bears couldn't screw this up because they screwed it up.
Already.
The Tennessee
Takes
Titans are now on the
3 years
clock.
to judge it, right?
The pick is in, and the Tennessee Titans are a very run-heavy team. But there have been rumors of trading King Henry, whether it be to the Eagles, to the Patriots, wherever. But Ryan Tannehill has been this, quote, bridge quarterback. Do they draft quarterback here? We are down, to pick number 11 now. Only seeing two quarterbacks go off the field. We might start seeing some teams jump up in there. Do the Titans take a quarterback, Fitz?
I don't see why you don't here. You'd have to tell me why you don't here. Ryan Tannehill is obviously not the guy that's going to win you a championship.
What? Ryan Tannehill's good.
Since
when?
Good.
Since
when was
good.
Ryan Tannehill good?
He's good.
When?
Is he great?
When Derrick Henry got hurt last season, 2 seasons ago, we saw the true Ryan Tannehill. He was able to push the ball down the field.
Fuck, you're wrong. We've seen the real Ryan Tannehill every time the Tennessee Titans are down in the 4th quarter by 2 or more scores, and they hand the ball off to Derrick Henry because they don't want Ryan Tannehill to lose the game.
That's poor coaching. When Derrick Henry
They win.
When Derrick Henry missed those 8 games, he was throwing for 400 or 500 yards. They were also rushing for 100 yards a game.
You're out of your
Ryan
mind.
Tannehill is the Derek Carr of the Tennessee Titans. He improves
Stop it.
every year.
Stop it. Ryan Tannehill's the Chicago White Sox of the NFL.
Hey, they still improve every year.
I know,
They're picked to be great, but they fall out.
Buck wants us to move on, but we're still dealing with the Chicago Bears pick. Tony Thomas says Combs looks mad.
Combs is mad.
I am mad. It was a bad pick.
Combs disgusted with Bears pick. Come on, we're all here. This is a healing moment for you. We're here for you, buddy.
Another runs freaking.
Listen, if you cannot pass the ball, you are good at running. What do? You get better at running the ball.
They were already
a good running game
running
opens up the
offense.
passing game. A good or great running game opens up the passing game.
If you were going to go offensive line, you go with Gator Arm Skoronski.
Why? Because he can
Because
pass
he's a
block, he can't run block.
blocking
I
offensive
think
lineman.
a lot of people had him picked as a guard in this draft. I don't know where you had him, Buck, but I think a lot of people had him picked as a guard.
Yep.
They don't need another guard. Me and Buck were just talking about Cody Whitehair. He's still a pretty good guard, center, whatever you want to put him. They do have some guards on this team. Tevin Jenkins showed a lot at guard this season. They need a tackle. If they're going to double down on Braxton Jones,
even the Bears didn't
Jones
like
you could double down on.
Even the Bears didn't like him.
So they traded back to get him. And they didn't like him? Come
No,
on, man.
I'm talking.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your
No,
pick.
I was talking about the freaking. Oh God, I'm all flustered.
Guys,
I'm
I'm
so mad.
I miss my city. That is Hospital Hill, City of Fountains, and
What city is that?
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
City of
Oh, I
Fountains.
thought you were talking about Tennessee.
Oh no.
He's got like 7 cities. You have to forgive him.
Tennessee has that big old river that runs through town where they hide all the dead bodies in there.
I got it. I gotta get it to Kansas City. I gotta get to Arrowhead, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so
And Tevin
cool.
Jenkins is a tackle, by the way, not a guard.
No, he played guard for the Bears, the team that you root for pretty much all year this year. They drafted him as a tackle, but they're so bad at drafting
But the Bears don't
that
even
they
like
didn't know
him.
he was a guard.
The Bears didn't even want
No,
him
I
on the
think they
team
like
at the
him.
beginning of the
I think
season.
they like him. Pro Football Focus, he was a top 5 guard this year. But do we listen to Pro Football Focus? I don't know.
I do.
Yeah.
I like
I
like how they actually break down the stats.
They're not.
Yeah.
Yes, I do too. But are they always right? No. But who is?
Right.
Who is in sports?
Me.
That was a terrible pick. Terrible pick.
I don't know. That's.
So the Titans, if they'd go quarterback, who are they going to go with?
Darnell Wright. I had him written in.
Darnell Wright.
This
For-
might,
for-
this
no,
might
for
see
the
where
Bears,
you see.
for the Bears,
This
I
might
think.
where you see Christian go. I mean,
Christian Gonzalez, you mean?
Christian Gonzalez might where you see.
When
where you
is
see him
Will
come off the board.
Levis going? That is it.
Listen, if he keeps dropping, Detroit Lions.
The Lions have the next pick, right?
The Lions are 15, aren't they?
No, they pick at 12. They traded with.
Yeah, they're at 12.
Yeah.
Like unless they trade. So the pick is
the
in for the
trade.
Tennessee Titans here.
The trade, yeah.
Lions are on the clock at number 12 here after a flurry of trades. So we'll hear from the Lions after we hear from Tennessee. And now let's hear from the commissioner.
With the 11th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Peter Skoronski, offensive tackle,
Skoronski.
Northwestern.
There you go.
That should have been the Bears pick.
He's going to be a guard, probably.
Yeah, he will definitely be a
He's
guard.
not tall enough to be a tackle. I mean, they have him at 6'1".
Yeah, it says he's 6'4", 313
Oh, he is.
pounds. But really, all you need for the Tennessee Titans right now is a big body to get into the way for Derrick Henry to run, right?
Yeah, I mean, how many years is Derrick Henry going to play?
So
in your mind, I mean, they thought
2
he was
years
done
left.
this year. They said he was done.
No.
First 2 games he had, he wasn't running enough, and
Yeah.
then he had the year he had.
He has two more successful seasons. Like I'm talking like the guy, right?
Yeah.
He might be in the league for 4, 5 more years, but he will not be the guy. He will be a good second fiddle to a Tony Pollard or somebody
If
like
he's
that.
top
right?
for another 2 years, then
Yeah.
maybe Peter Skoronski is a good pick.
Yeah.
For the Tennessee Titans, I still can't believe no one took Will Levis
Is
yet.
it? Well, is Will Levis going in the next? I think he's going in the next 3 picks. If Detroit and Green Bay both pass on him, New England's taking him for sure. They don't like Mac. Well, Bill Belichick does not like Mac Jones.
See, the problem with New England is they still got
If
Brady.
he falls to the Patriots.
They got Zappy that took it the
Wow.
first round last year, right?
Yeah.
And then they took Mac Jones in the first round. No,
Zappy was like 5th or
third. Yeah,
6th.
yeah, he was
The
later.
Patriots historically do take a lot of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Took Garofalo, passed him off for a 2nd-round pick.
Right.
You know, they've drafted a lot of quarterbacks. I mean,
If there's
why
anybody that
not?
is going to move out of the first round, it will be the New England Patriots.
well,
Well,
yeah,
the,
for sure.
the rumor
They
at
like
the end
getting
of the
tough
year
tackles.
was that the New England Patriots didn't like Mac Jones because when they were having issues with their offense, he was asking other offensive coordinators what they thought the problem was, and that rubbed Bill Belichick the wrong way. And so Bill Belichick then benched Mac Jones for Bailey Zappi, and there was a
Right.
big thing. And now those two don't get along. They're searching for trades for Mac Jones. I think Will Levis would be a smart pickup for them.
Well, or maybe the Patriots are waiting for Will Levis to fall, to Buck's point, and then they trade that pick to somebody who wants to trade up for Will Levis,
right.
and then they get a lot of draft capital for that.
So
maybe that's what they're waiting for.
Honestly,
Who knows? Maybe
I'm
overthinking it.
Let's look past these picks. The lines are up now, and then you get and then you got the Packers, right? And then who is after that?
Got what? Lions at 11.
Yeah, so you got the Lions, and you got the Packers, and you got the Commanders.
Yep.
They're set about 15, 16 here.
16.
If Will Levis does not go here, he goes to the Commanders.
Yeah, I would
What about
think
the
the
Jets?
Commanders would have to take him.
Jets have Aaron Rodgers.
Especially with the
and Zach
offensive
Wilson.
coordinator they got
All right, so
in
the
the
pick is in
offseason.
for the Lions, guys.
Here we go.
Detroit Lions select Jahmyr Gibbs.
Wow, another running back.
Alabama.
What is wrong with them tonight?
What just happened?
Wow, that is a surprise.
Any Detroit Lions fans in here? Because you guys just
cannot.
messed up the draft 100%. You do not draft a running back in top 15. You
What just
don't do it.
happened?
Get a mic on my cousin Julian.
Oh my! When the Lions and we start picking the Lions, what happened? The Lions started going nuts. They started losing their minds. All of a sudden, they trade their best cornerback for a 5th round pick. They
So,
have 6 of their
pause
guys
on that.
get suspended.
They picked up Slay, and then they traded him. So he was going to be a 3rd or 4th
It doesn't.
rotation.
No, he was going to be their number 1.
No, he wasn't.
It's such a deep draft for running backs. It's such a deep draft for running backs. You do not
And running
have to
backs
take
are
a guy
a dime
right
a
here.
dozen. Running backs are a dime a dozen. You do not do this.
I don't always say that for running backs. You can't say that.
Hold on. Wait. The Green Bay Packers are up right now, right?
Yes. And my cousin Julianne, bring it over there. Bring
Jackson,
that mic over
Jackson
there.
Smith and Jigba. How
Are they
great of
gonna
a
go
pick
running
would
back
that
too?
be?
I don't know if that's
Now
a
that
great
Aaron
pick,
Rodgers is
but
gone, if they go wide receiver with their number
I
pick.
don't know.
No,
if they go
the
right
Packers
receiver.
got to go tight end because they
just lost.
Mercedes Lewis, right?
And they lost somebody to the Bears. I forget his name.
So they probably go tight end or receiver here because wouldn't that be the ultimate smack in the face to Aaron Rodgers? Never draft a number 1 round receiver. Then hey, go ahead, buddy.
All right, guys, we got the only Packer fan in the house.
Go Pack,
She's
go.
a Packer
Go Pack,
fan.
go. Go
Feel
Pack,
free
go.
to boo her
Go
all
Pack,
you
go.
want.
Don't
It's
boo
terrible.
her. I'll
Where are the
beat you
Packers
up.
going?
They should go wide receiver, but they're always heavy defense.
So you think they're going defense?
Heavy defense.
But she said they should go wide receiver.
They should.
I agree.
Receiver or tight end because they lost Mercedes Lewis and the other guy.
I'm going to tell you right now how angry I will be every Sunday.
Bears got Robert
I will be angry every Sunday yelling at Fitz if I have to watch Jordan Love passing touchdowns to Quentin Johnston while the Bears are stuck running the ball behind another running offensive lineman.
Darnell Wright is his name, by the way. You forget names a lot over there.
So go back to Fitz's cousin here. You say the Packers are a 2-year project with Jordan Love, right?
First of all, say your name so we don't have to call you Fitz's cousin.
They gotta be.
I'm Julianne.
Hi, Julianne. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Julianne.
So you think you like Jordan Love as your quarterback?
I do.
You do? Why?
I mean, I watched him in that Eagles game, and he finally showed poise.
Right.
And that's what he needed.
Okay.
He was always very quick. He was a very green quarterback, and he got to go under. It's something that we've seen before. I'm not
agree.
sitting here saying, we're going to be the best. But, I mean, Aaron Rodgers also got booed the first time he played.
I've never seen anything bad from Jordan Love to say that he's a bad quarterback. He does have some mobility. He can throw the ball. It's not like he can't throw the ball.
I disagree, Fitz. I've seen something bad from Jordan Love, and it's his jersey and his helmet that he wears every frickin' Sunday.
So the only thing bad I've ever seen from Jordan Love is when he played my Kansas City Chiefs when Aaron Rodgers got COVID, right? And they had 5 plays for him all game long.
What's going on, boss?
Oh, yeah.
Not sure that's his fault.
There's our man Johnny, right?
All right, we got our guy Johnny Torres in the house.
Johnny
the Southside
Torres!
Bags. Johnny Torres is here. He's going to yell at Fitz.
Torres.
Johnny, who you think the Green Bay Packers are going with?
I don't know. What are their choices?
There we go. What are their choices?
The Packers who?
Just pick a position.
The Packers who? The Packers that have been running the NFC North for how long? When's the last time the Bears won the North?
He said, when was the last time the Royals won something?
2016. Thank you very much.
2015.
15, whatever.
Don't talk about 16 in Chicago, buddy.
He's baseball 3.
That was
or
our
4.
year.
Bucks NFL first.
Yeah.
Fitz doesn't want to talk baseball because he's a White Sox fan, and they keep losing by 70 runs a night.
Yeah, they're down 7-2 now, right now. So the Packers are on the clock. It says the pick is in, so we got another 15 minutes to take talk here. So speaking of Packers, Aaron Rodgers got traded to the New York Football Jets. They got a first round this year, a first round next year, and a conditional second pick in 2025. If he's 65% more, they get a first round pick. Who do you think won that draft? Was it the Packers or the Jets?
I think it's going to matter really. Is Aaron Rodgers going to take 65% of the snaps? Because then it goes to a second round pick.
Right.
Let's get back to Julianne for who's going to win that pick. But anyway, who is going to win that pick? Is he going to take 65% of the snaps or more?
Yeah.
Is Aaron Rodgers the guy he was 3-4 years ago? Or the guy that won the MVP is 2 years in a row? We don't know. Is his passion going to be reignited? And is he going to be the Jets or Minnesota quarterback that maybe Brett Favre was years ago?
So I actually went on a
There's a lot
live.
of ifs there. I think it's hard to bet against Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, we got another prediction for the Packers real quick. If he says Quentin Johnson, I'm going to nut check him.
I believe the Packers are going to pick Quentin Johnson.
So I actually went on live, Fitz, saying that this was the dumbest trade ever. They gave up 2 first-round picks for Aaron Rodgers when you could have gave it up for Lamar Jackson.
Do you think that? But then you have Lamar Jackson, and then you have that large deal you have to give him for 5 or 6 years.
You're still paying Aaron Rodgers $50 million.
Yeah, but for 2 years. You're not paying him for 5 years.
Right.
Hey,
Lamar
we got
Jackson
some swag from our sponsor
Got some
at Southside
swag.
Bags.
There we go. Yes, sir. Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate you, man.
Johnny! Johnny never gives me swag.
All right, so the pick is in here, guys.
He's going to follow me out to my car.
We're thinking receiver tied in here.
Fitz tried taking 2 hats, one for his head, one for his nose.
Yes. 2 for my head.
Green Bay Packers,
Here we
what do you
go.
guys?
Here we go, Julian.
With the 13th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Lucas Finesse.
And that's what I said.
Defensive
the Bears
end,
were gonna
Iowa.
take.
They do go defense, like Julian said there.
Defensive edge. 7 tackles.
Speaking of notes, that guy's got a beak on him, huh?
7 sacks, 14 tackles for a loss. I still remember the stats. Iowa, good defensive end, has that big size, just like Tyree Wilson said, like we were talking. Might be able to defend the run. They do have a 4-3, so it's a little different. He's probably not going in pass coverage a little bit too much. I don't mind the pick as much here. I don't know what you think.
Right, so the Packers do have the next pick as well. So it is on the Patriots are on the clock now, and then they got the Packers coming up again after that. So this is when they could go their tight end receiver because
Tunyon, because they lost Tunyon to the Bears.
So maybe they thought the Patriots may have went defensive end as well.
Yeah.
So I am curious of where the Patriots go here. I feel like they're going to trade out of the first round. That seems to be Bill Belichick's MO the last couple of years, or draft a second or third round player into the first round, like their offensive line.
Take Will Levis.
See,
he doesn't like Mac Jones. We've heard
but he likes
about
Billy
him not
Zappi.
liking Mac Jones.
So
he likes Zappi.
So
Zappi's a little weird.
So
but yes,
this is the positive thing about the Patriots this year. They finally have an offensive coordinator. They have one of the best offensive coordinators back on the staff. Matt Patricia was not an offensive coach. He was a defensive coach. Let's just be honest about it. So does this give him time to develop Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi? I mean, because next year we got quarterbacks in the draft as well. The kid from USC that Combs likes really well.
Yep.
I forget his name. Combs, what's the kid from USC that you like? Of course, he doesn't have a microphone. But, like...
next year.
Next year.
Yeah, the quarterback. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I think the Patriots have to go offensive line. That was probably one of their weakest points last season. And to play in the cold, to play in January, you need a good running game. Starts with a good offensive lineman, even though Combs disagrees. But where do you think the Patriots go?
I think the Patriots, it's now Pittsburgh.
USC.
They traded. Yep. So with the Pittsburgh Steelers, Will Levis.
They traded, so the Pittsburgh Steelers are coming up. Okay.
Will Levis.
No, they got Kenny Pickett.
Will Levis.
Kenny Pickett is going to be a game changer this year. if the Pittsburgh Steelers draft anybody, it's they got to draft offensive line, right?
Will Levis. Or wide receiver.
I mean,
you can go wide receiver.
if
Jackson
you're the
Smith and
Steelers-
Jigba.
if you're the Steelers right now, who do you have? Mitch Trubisky. You have to get
Kenny
a
Pickett.
Kenny Pickett.
Second year of Kenny Pickett. Watch out. Plus, they have the best receiver
Buck,
core in the NFC North.
If you're gonna make me and Fitz start agreeing with one another, we can't do this together. man.
So this is the problem. Pittsburgh Steelers have the best receiver core as a whole in the AFC North. Kenny Pickett.
You're out of your mind.
Kenny Pickett's going to take huge steps
They're
this year.
better than the Bengals.
Yeah.
They're better. Stop.
What do you
it,
like about
dude.
Kenny Pickett?
I like that he has small hands. He can.
And he smells
That's
like
why
cabbage?
you're drinking Bud Light.
And
Yeah,
he
exactly.
smells like cabbage?
No, I like Kenny Pickett because he's that hometown guy. He has that grit about him. He has that Pittsburgh Steeler grit.
He has 7 touchdowns and 9 interceptions.
Okay.
on his career.
He's got that grit. He's got that grit.
Some food smells really good, by the way. I don't know what
Will
it is.
Levis, I smell wings.
Yeah, it smells really good.
Who's got wings?
I could eat the butt
Who
out
just
of a
got
charging rhino
wings
right
out
now.
there on the floor?
But
Somebody just got wings. I smell them.
I
knew it.
I just do
I
not.
knew it.
I just do not see the Pittsburgh Steelers going quarterback after a year removed, drafting Kenny Pickett in the first round.
Yeah, you got a point there.
The
You
guy's
do
got a
have
fat
point
head
there.
of Kenny Pickett too. So Steelers fans are obviously in on Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Oh, wide receiver then, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
They just got what's his face? Can you remember his name? now?
Exactly. Exactly. You can't even remember his name. Jackson Smith and Jigba is the guy. Who did they get?
No, they got
But they traded Claypool away.
which is a great trade. Chicago Bears are gonna have him all they want. No, they got Johnson, they got Pickens, and then they got
Deontay Johnson,
Deontay
Miles Boykin,
No,
Calvin Austin.
they just traded for a guy.
Don't say Anthony Miller.
So Mitch Berg is actually a Pittsburgh
Deontay
fan.
Johnston.
That's why he nicknames stuff like
George
Mitch
Pickens.
Berg, because he's a Steeler fan.
No, they just traded for somebody. I can't remember who it is. Like, I'm blanking right now.
They didn't trade for anybody.
Oh, they got Allen Robertson.
Oh, yeah.
Allen Robertson, yeah.
He's 97 years old in NFL years.
He is
Yeah,
the
I
best
was gonna
receiver the
say-
Bears have ever had.
The Bears' best
DJ
receiver is a
Moore.
running back. Their
Yes.
top 2 wide receivers are running backs. So any wide receiver the Bears has the best receiver they've ever had.
So the pick is
Walter
in
Payton.
for the Steelers here as they pan over Hospital Hill there down into Union Station.
Don't pretend like you live there.
I lived across the street for 7 years, man.
No, you didn't.
Chase pretty much the entire year.
I used to
last year,
work
and so
right
much of
there.
the credit for that given to their head coach,
He says
Mike
right
Tomlin. They
there.
make the aggressive year to 14, and the commissioner with the announcement.
Alrighty.
The New England Patriots have traded the 14th pick to the Pittsburgh
If they say
Steelers.
Will Levis, oh my God.
With the 14th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select
Roger
Ronald
Jones,
Jones,
offensive tackle, Georgia.
offensive
Are
tackle.
we happy, Mitch
Georgia.
Berg? Are we happy?
Well, there he is.
We're happy.
right tackle.
Hey, why are we happy? They already had a top 5 defense in the league.
It's an offensive tackle.
Oh, he said, okay, never mind. My bad. Okay,
Georgia.
yeah.
You have to forgive him. He's a Chiefs fan. It's hard
Yeah.
for him to read.
I read with the stutter.
The best story ever, Fitz, and I don't know if you heard this, but Buck came home from a football practice. So Buck coaches high school football in Indiana. He came home from practice and said one of his players came and asked him if he stutters when he thinks too.
Oh, my God.
He ran suicide for 2 weeks.
Oh, my God.
Hey, Coach Buck, do you think with a stutter? Come on, man. What is the kind of question is that? So the New York Jets are now on the clock. Did they trade up too?
Will Levis? No, this is their pick.
They're not
Okay.
taking Will Levis.
Why not? Why wouldn't you take a guy to sit behind Aaron Rodgers for a year? Because that's all you got left.
Gotta
Does
be 2
Aaron Rodgers
years.
have a history of teaching backup quarterbacks anything?
No, but you don't need Aaron Rodgers to teach you. You let him sit behind him and learn from him, though. But he doesn't have to necessarily teach you anything. You could learn a lot just by watching.
Huh. How'd that work for Trey Lance?
Who?
Trey
Exactly.
Lance.
Exactly.
Lance.
Exactly.
No, if they draft quarterback, Combs, let me add you back on the screen. That's my bad. If they draft
You don't need
quarterback
me on
here,
screen.
they got to go defense, right? I mean, they got Sauce Gardner. They got a pretty good secondary, but I feel the front four is probably their weakest point.
You would think they have to go defense here, I would say, but who knows?
Yeah.
What is the Aaron Rodgers effect?
Well, they already got Alan Lazard, right? They got Aaron Rodgers.
Maybe they get Quentin Johnston here. Maybe they get Njigba, because I can't say his first name here.
Jackson Smith Njigba. How hard is that to say? His first name's Jackson. Njigba's the hard one to say, and you got that.
I didn't know his name was Jackson either. But what if
something at him over there?
So
I
Breece
said
Hall.
Inaccurate sports talk.
So Breece Hall is the Jets running back. He's coming off an ACL injury. Do we see a third running back go in the first round?
That would be insane. Mel Kiper would be texting all kinds of underage.
Dude, if a
women
running back goes here, we just end the feed. I'm done.
Well, we only have about a half hour left.
I have
anyways.
no clue
is
what
so
the hell
deep.
is going on.
I was
in the
looking
NFL.
at running backs that were 10 or 11 or 12 deep that were good running backs. The guy who run a 4.2840 in the combine, that was like 10th pick for a running back. You can get a lot of running backs in this draft. It'd be insane.
So I'm thinking Christian Gonzalez here. Add a second piece with the Sauce Gardner on the other side. Do
if
1-2
Aaron
guards.
Rodgers went to the Jets and they go defense.
That's not going to happen. I think they're going wide receiver here. What does their line look like on the Jets?
They got the kid from Louisville a couple years ago as number 1 overall pick, Micaiah Beckton, I think his name is, and they went line B for that as well. So are they good? No, because obviously Zach Wilson, Joe Flacco, Mike White are kind of all their quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But does Aaron Rodgers make them better, right? Does
exactly.
a quarterback make a good offense better?
It depends what he wants. Does he want a left tackle here? There really isn't a left tackle left, I don't think.
Yeah.
In the draft, I mean, there's a couple guys that might be, a right tackle or a guard. Either that or they have to go offense here. I mean, they have to go offense here. This is an offensive-centered league. I've said it over and over again. I even had a Fitz gibberish about it, and you're going to disagree with me here, Buck. But I said football is basketball now with traveling.
Oh, yeah, I 100% agree with that.
Okay,
Yeah,
you do agree. Wow.
I actually made a Facebook post saying that no defensive player in the NFL would survive in this year's in this life, like NFL. And like people are like, oh no, Ray Lewis would kill him, LT would kill him. No, they can't hit hard.
They can't.
Yeah.
And how would you even, like, cornerback or safety has got to be the hardest position or one of the hardest positions in sports, because what can you do?
Yeah, you hold them and you lose a Super Bowl, right?
Right.
And it was barely a hold. Was that holding throughout the entire, for 59 minutes of that game? Was that holding?
It was. So the point is he pulled his jersey and he pulled back. If he would have pulled his jersey and let go, it would have been fine.
I feel like he pulled and let go.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Murray says they're going to need extra patrols on all tall buildings and bridges in Detroit tonight.
150%.
So far, that's comment of the night.
Let's get him some swag.
That's comment of the night right now.
Let's get Jeremiah Murray some swag.
Hey, Jeremiah, hit us up in the DM with your address. We're gonna get you an NFL jersey.
Slide into Combsy's DMs.
That's the comment of the night right there.
Yep.
NFL jersey of your choice.
Alrighty, so
for sure.
Jets are really taking their time on this pick. They're using the full 10 minutes. Are they looking for a trade partner?
I don't know, man.
Why would they trade down here?
You would trade down because offensive lineman, you can
because all the wide receivers are still available.
They're gonna take a receiver here.
Washington's not. New England's
Without
not.
a doubt, Buck.
I bet you there is somebody on the phone with them right now looking to jump up to get a hooker, Will Levis, somebody. Like let's take it the teams at the bottom half of the draft.
Oh.
What teams can you think can use a quarterback like at this point?
You're right. Will Levis is still up there. That's at least something to entertain.
Do the LA Rams got a first-round pick? I don't think they do, right? Combs, do you know if the Rams have a first-round pick?
No, I don't believe they do.
They don't.
They don't.
They
because
traded
they
it
trade him to Detroit.
To Detroit.
Okay.
Yes.
So
They do not.
they can't move up. Let's say.
Unless they have draft capital from other years,
Or-
but I don't see that
or-
happening.
You get Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
You want a receiver?
That's
Cooper
why
Kupp
Detroit
for the
had number
Jets.
6, is because they had the Rams number 1
Right.
pick. And now
So,
they're 14.
they are congratulations. So maybe they
Jets are
they got their
maybe
guy.
heading together.
Maybe the Jets got Cooper Kupp for a first-round pick. And the Rams
Jackson
wanna
Smith
get
and
well.
Jigba or Quentin
Kupp?
Johnston.
I think so.
One of the two.
I unfortunately agree.
I think they're going
with Mr. Combs
cornerback
over there.
I think they're going Christian Gonzalez.
Imagine if Quentin Johnston falls out of the first round, how happy I'm going to be for tomorrow night's round 2 coverage.
You need it. The Bears don't have a top second-round pick. That's the problem.
They could trade back and get.
They gave it to the Ravens.
Yeah.
They pick at number 54, right?
Yeah, that's middle to late second round.
Yeah.
32 plus 32 is 64, Colmsy.
Well, right.
Math is hard for him.
Yeah, and so what's 60 minus 54?
I'm going to kick you in your
I'm
nuts.
just asking for it, Fred, at this point. So that would be the bottom half of the second half.
So angry about the Bears pick.
Yeah.
Like, he can't even, like...
It was
you can't-
terrible.
You can't even talk anymore.
It was
or
terrible.
analyze anything right now, Buck. He is that pissed.
I'm just going to go eat a
So,
mini taco.
for all you Bears fans out there, Combs says he's actually a Vikings fan. He said if he had to pick a new team, it would be the Minnesota Vikings.
He did say that. Wow.
So we
I
have
said
the
if the
newest
Bears
Minnesota
weren't
Vikings
a
fan.
team.
Vikings?
If the
What?
Bears weren't a team, I probably would have been a Minnesota Vikings fan
They're literally
because I would have be
puking.
a fan of a team that breaks my heart.
Hey, at least you could live in Chicago
Out of
and be a Michigan fan. What's up with that?
That's true.
That's weird. Hey, good luck on your baseball season, buddy.
Hey, make sure you tell all your friends to join the show.
Hey, on the bright side, I bat 250 in high school, so.
I batted about 130.
He still bats 250, but on the PlayStation.
I played a kid, his name was Josh Workman from Silver Lake High School. This kid batted 900 in high school.
Wow.
900.
OPS?
No, 900. That was,
my
we
God.
didn't figure out OPS. We're a small school. Man, Jets, come on, get with this pick. Sheesh.
You got Brandon Jr. Gotta love Zappy.
Zappe. Hey, Zappe is from Kentucky.
Patriots end zone said Caleb Williams, USC.
Yeah, because we couldn't name Caleb Williams.
We were asking you. You were
I was
like,
gonna say, I
Send him the
know
link.
Wayne G's smarter than me.
Send him the link. The Patriots pick's coming up here soon, isn't it?
Oh, Wayne G
Pick
doesn't
is
have
in
it yet?
for the Jets.
All right, I'll send it.
This is my last pick, and then I got a D.
And here comes the
D-ball.
commissioner and his special
Got to
guest
go for it.
to announce the pick.
Man, that guy's balling. Look at that. Nice green suit. Woo. Take note, Bears
The
fans. This is how
NFL
you
is
dress.
proud to be part of the global community that supports the life-changing
shut
wishes
up,
that
Godell.
Make-A-Wish
It's like he's wearing
grants.
his dad's suit.
With World Wish Day only a couple days
kinda cool,
away,
though.
I'm joined by Kyle Stickles, a Make-A-Wish kid who battled and overcame bone cancer.
There you go. Good job, buddy. That bone cancer is deadly, man.
Fitz hates
Kyle's
this guy.
wish is to announce the first-round pick of his favorite team, the New York Jets.
Lifetime
I'd
of
like all of you
disappointments.
to join me in cheering on Kyle as his wish comes true. The floor is yours, Kyle.
There you go, bud. Yes, sir.
Wide receiver.
Thank you, Mr. Goodell. I'd also like to thank the NFL, the New York Jets, and the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Northeastern New York for giving me this opportunity tonight. Yeah! With the 15th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Will McDonald, linebacker, Iowa State. Let's go!
That is the most Packer thing that the Jets could have done.
Wow.
How mad is Aaron Rodgers right now?
Why? I mean, he already had a good receiver
It
core.
just happened. I know it's an okay wide receiver group, but don't you draft a wide receiver there?
I don't know what's going on in the
Or-
draft.
or a
We've had
tight
2
end.
running backs go in the top 15. The Jets just got Aaron Rodgers, and what do? They Green Bay Packer him and choose a linebacker.
Wait. I mean, let's look at their receiver. They have Garrett Wilson. They drafted last year, right? Pretty good. They have McCole Hardman now, which that is a great pickup. Alan Lazard, Corey Davis, and they still have Denzel Mims. And then they traded what's his face to the Browns. Like Elijah Moore. So they don't need a receiver. They don't need a running back. They could have went offensive tackle or defense is probably what their biggest need was. So this was a really good pick by them. I mean, their linebacking core, sure. Like obviously we don't watch enough Jets football to speak intelligent on it, but
is there a happier team in the building tonight than Washington right now? They literally have every player on their board still on their board here at 15.
Oh, yeah. I mean, where do you think Washington is going to go? Because are they sold on Sam Howell?
The possibilities are endless.
Yeah,
Will Levis and Jigba, Quentin Johnston. You can name all sorts of players. The Commanders could use them.
I bet you they go defense because we've heard that they want to trade Chase Young. So they did not pick up his 5th-year option. They have been in trade talks with the Colts all offseason for Chase Young. Do they go defense? I don't know. Probably not, but
yeah,
you got to give Chase Young a chance to be healthy to see if he's a guy or not.
Yeah, I think you're going offense here, whether it's running back, whether it's wide receiver.
Don't say running back.
Maybe
Do not
quarterback.
say running back. Take that back.
Well, look, we've already had 2 running backs go. Why not go with another running back?
So when we look at the Commanders,
if you say Quentin Johnston, I'm throwing my drink at you.
They have Sam Howell that is currently listed as the starter. Excuse me. Didn't they pick up Nick Foles, didn't they? What does he say?
Will Levis? He's got Will Levis to the Commanders here.
They have Sam Howell, Joby Burkett, Jake Fromm. Like
Jacoby Brissett?
Yeah.
You just said Jacoby Brissett.
Exactly.
Stop it.
If Jacoby Brissett was still in Indianapolis, they would be a playoff team.
You said Jacoby Brissett like they don't need to draft a quarterback. It's Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett's Jimmy G.
Jacoby Brissett is not. He's Jacoby Brissett. He's not Jimmy G.
He's better.
He's Ryan Fitzgibbons in an NFL uniform.
Yeah. So, who said Will Levis out there? Raise your hand. Did you say Will Levis? Why not Hooker?
Because he doesn't like hookers.
He does have a better arm. Hooker's coming off an ACL tear, right?
Yeah. So,
if they draft Will Levis here, let's say they draft Will Levis, what do you do with Sam Howell? Do you trade Sam Howell?
Yeah.
Cut
Who
him?
the hell is Sam Howell?
He's their 1st-round draft pick from last season.
They did not draft a quarterback in the 1st round last year.
Yes, they did.
Sam Howell from where?
Where is he from? Houston?
He was like from the cornfields somewhere.
Hey,
Sam Howell,
a lot of good kids are from the cornfields.
No, Sam Howell was like in Field of Dreams. You know how the players come out of a cornfield? Like that.
He's from North Carolina.
That's who Sam Howell is.
He's from North Carolina.
Come on. Is Mitch Trubisky's little brother?
Yeah, they actually look a lot alike too. Let's just be honest
Stop it. Will Levis would be a great pickup here for them.
So let's get back to this Aaron Rodgers thing. Since the Jets just picked defensive tackle here, do the Packers ultimately turn these 2 first-round draft picks into some offensive juggernauts? Do you think they can do something?
They're the Commanders still. I think they're going in a good path, making their owner finally sell the team because he was a scumbag to begin with.
No, he wasn't.
Come on, stop it. If you defend him, I'll punch you in the mouth. He was a scumbag, and so they're going the right direction by making him sell the team. I think in about 4 to 5 years, the Commanders could be relevant again, and I think they should change their name back to the Redskins. Just saying.
So let's have a poll here. Everybody raise their hand if they should be the Redskins. 2, 3, 4 people. How about the Commanders? Do you like the Commanders? No.
Nobody.
So
who doesn't give a damn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
A lot more hands. A lot more hands.
It just like I'm actually really tired of this PC world, honestly. The Indians and White Sox. Like, why do we want to change all these names? It's just very, very frustrating. But we got our man Wayne G popping in here. Wayne, can you hear us, my man?
I can hear you. You guys are doing great.
Hey, how are you doing? You as a Patriots fan here, the Patriots are coming up in a draft pick here pretty soon here. Where do you think they should go?
So I'm having a nervous breakdown, I'll be honest with you, because when Christian Gonzalez was available after Lucas Van Ness went, I thought, oh, hot damn, don't waste more than 8 seconds. Take Christian Gonzalez right now. And then they traded back. I thought, oh, well, there he goes. But now it looks like he might be coming up again. So,
so the pick is in.
Don't wait.
With the 16th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Emmanuel
What
Forbes,
is going
defensive
on?
back, Mississippi State.
Wayne G, what do you think about this pick? Cornerback,
He
Emmanuel.
loves it.
No, well, yeah, I do love it because it means that Christian Gonzalez is still available. But this is a guy the Patriots also brought in. He's a takeaway machine. So I don't mind this. I actually thought Gonzalez might go here as well to Washington. I actually really thought Washington was going to take Levis because that makes the most sense for them.
Yes.
Is really Sam Howell
Yes.
your quarterback of the future?
Right?
Buck thinks so, but Buck's an idiot. So.
Yeah, I am. So the Patriots are now on the clock here. Do you think they're going to go Christian Gonzalez?
I hope they do, but I have no idea what they're going to do. Who knows what Bill Belichick's going to do? He could trade out again. He could draft some junior college player who actually delivered pizzas last year.
What do you? So you want them to draft Christian Gonzalez, which that's the logical thing to do. But let's just be honest, Bill Belichick likes to draft second and third round players in the first round. Is he going to surprise us and draft a quarterback?
I would be completely shocked if he drafted a quarterback because then what do you do? It was one thing when he was talking about trading up and trading Mac Jones and a couple of firsts to try to get up there, but to wait and then bring in Levis and have Mac Jones and Zappi, all three of them on the roster, you're just asking for drama. I mean, why would Bill do that? Is this late in his career? Is he just like, I just want, an Inquirer TV show?
We got somebody in the crowd here who says they're going to go Will Levis. I think they're going to end up trading Mac Jones no matter what they do. I really do. I think Mac Jones is done in New England. I don't think Bill Belichick likes him. I think they have a bad chemistry, and I think they're going to end up trading him.
And what happened to Will Levis anyway in this draft? How has he dropped this far down?
How have any of
You
those
had him
quarterbacks
high in your
drafted?
draft.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's because he's not that good.
That Will Levis has gone this far down.
What's that, Wayne?
Go ahead, Wayne.
I said it's because he's not that good. Will Levis is not a great player.
Stop
and that's why I also That's also why I don't want him going to the New England
And
Patriots.
Anthony Richardson is a stalwart.
So the pick is in here.
It's 17. Here's the commish.
With the 17th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Christian Gonzalez.
There you go, Wayne.
There you go.
You got your guy. How excited are you? He is going crazy.
This is unbelievable. This is fantastic, unbelievable, because I'm going to tell you something right now. Bill Belichick has been making first team all-pro corners out of undrafted free agents like Malcolm Butler and J.C. Jackson, and he just drafted the most talented corner he's ever drafted in his entire career. And what is he going to do with this guy? I think he could be the best corner that Bill's ever coached, and that includes Darrelle Revis and Ty Law.
Wow.
Wayne, what is your thoughts on why Christian Gonzalez became the third cornerback off this board? How does the most talented cornerback in the draft become third?
Because people like who they like. You know what I mean? Like, how does pizza get picked in the 5th round of a food draft, right? It's because somebody likes hamburgers or because somebody likes fries, right? Emmanuel Forbes is a good player. I have no problem with him. Yeah, but this guy is the best. This guy is absolutely the best corner in the draft, and I can tell you right now, within the next 2 or 3 years with the Patriots coaching, he's probably going to be the best corner in the NFL.
I like it. I like the pick for the Patriots.
Does this pick put him over the top, though? I mean, because right now, many people have them last in
I don't
the
think
division.
I don't think they're trying to get over the top this year, right? If you're looking at the Patriots, I think it's a two-year project, maybe even 3-year project for the Patriots. They're in rebuild mode.
They're not in rebuild mode. I mean, they just missed the playoffs by 1 game last year, so they're still competing for a playoff spot. I don't think they're competing for a Super Bowl spot necessarily, but they're competing for a playoff spot, and they have the pieces to do it. They're going to add some more pieces through this draft. This is a phenomenal pick. Hopefully Bill goes out, gets offensive tackle now in round 2, gets a wide receiver in round 3, and they're on their way.
So, Wayne, did you I remember seeing your mock draft for the Patriots earlier. Who did you have them going, picking in this first, like in this? Was it?
I had them taking Joey Porter Jr. Yeah, I had him taking Joey Porter Jr.
That started to drop as well.
Yeah.
Cornerback. Yeah, another corner. And the reason I had them taking him instead of Gonzalez is because I thought Gonzalez would be taken 6th or 7th.
Does Will Levis go here to Detroit?
He has to.
He doesn't have to go anywhere, really.
You're out of here. You don't like Will Levis? We had this talk on Patriots End Zone when I was on Patriots End Zone. And then I was laughing because you destroy Will Levis in the thing, but then when you put up the graphic, it shows he completes over 60% of his passes. The kid's got a cannon for an arm. What's not to like about Will Levis?
All the tools can run.
Jeremiah
He's got all the tools, and yet he didn't dominate against college kids.
Why do you take Anthony Richardson? Would you take Anthony Richardson then over Will Levis?
Higher ceiling. Anthony Richardson has a huge ceiling. Will Levis has a ceiling as well, but he's less talented. I guess he's got a big arm, but that's about it. Whereas Anthony Richardson has a big arm and he's got speed, so you got a little bit more.
So earlier when I said Anthony Richardson was the best quarterback in this draft, did you agree with me, or are you a Bryce Young guy?
Bryce Young, I think, is the best quarterback in this draft.
Really? Even his size doesn't scare you at all? The Tua's type size?
No, I mean, I know guys like Drew Brees sucked because they weren't very tall, but this guy I think could turn that around.
You named one guy.
Are we going to squeak over that? He said Drew Brees sucked.
He was joking.
It's called sarcasm.
Okay. I know when he's being sarcastic, but Drew, you're talking about
in my face,
one quarterback, one small quarterback. Look at Tua. Tua can't stay healthy. Look at guys in the league that have not, Doug Flutie, who have been in the league but have been too small. I mean, you start looking over in Arizona with Kyler Murray. The guy can't see checkdowns because he can't see over the line. So that doesn't scare you at all with Bryce Young?
No, because, again, the same thing with Russell Wilson. He had a fairly good career up until last year. Guys like that, you have to roll them out a little bit more. They can't just be straight drop-back passers. But he's a great decision maker. He's a very smart kid. He's going to pick up any playbook that you give him. I think he's in a good situation there in Carolina. I think he's going to be fine. I think they got Miles Sanders of the running game right. That's going to take some pressure off of him. And when we talked about Richardson, like you said, the reason I think he's better than Richardson is because Richardson is still a year and a half away from actually being ready to play in the NFL. Bryce Young is ready to play in the NFL right now.
So let's go back to your New England Patriots pick. Last season, you nailed their record spot on. You were pretty much spot on about the Patriots all season long. So far, obviously, we got a long draft way to go. We have 2 days to go still. Where do you see them going this season?
I mean, as the roster is currently constructed, and even adding Gonzalez, I think you're still in that 8-9, 9-8 kind of range, maybe 10-7. But I'm thinking 8-9, 9-8. I think they still need to make some more moves. They need to bring in some receivers. They need some depth there, and they need to decide what's going to happen at quarterback, because that's going to be an open competition here in the spring training or whatever you call it there, the preseason. I think Bailey Zappi is going to win it from Mac Jones, to be honest.
Okay, so there's a hot take. He thinks Bailey Zappi will be starting quarterback for the New England Patriots. I kind of like that.
Chuck it up, Zappi.
Yeah.
You seem to like Zappi.
He's a hilltopper, man. He's a good guy.
He's a hilltopper. I don't know.
I mean, he's got the NCAA record for most touchdowns in a season and most passing yards in a season.
As a hilltopper.
Yeah, as a hilltopper. Here we go.
Talk about Bailey Zappi.
I can't say a lot about him. I watched him a little bit against the Bears when the Bears steamrolled through the Patriots, the only team they actually blew out this season or really beat that much. They only won 3 games. So, but, I mean, he looked decent. He had a lot of guys who were wide open there. So, I don't know. You have him over Mac Jones, though? So, Mac Jones is just done with the Patriots. I mean, that's what a lot of people think.
That's what it seems like, right? Wayne?
It does. It seems like he's fallen out of favor with Bill Belichick, who's very upset that he went outside the organization for help last year. He was openly critical of the coaching decisions. So I think that, Bill's lost faith in him. Zappy's a guy who'll do whatever you ask him to do. And also, when you watch them play last year, Mac Jones seemed to be playing scared. He's throwing off his back foot a lot of ducks, whereas Bailey Zappi navigates the pocket, steps up, and throws darts.
Well, Bailey Zappi would tell, anybody would tell, if you shoveled shit in his mouth, he'd take it. I mean, at this point, he wasn't taken in the first round, was he?
No.
I mean, he's going to say whatever somebody says. I mean, why is it only in football where somebody goes outside of the team and everybody goes nuts? It's like a military.
Right.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I just think it's kind of weird that that only happens in football,
Right.
where someone tries to look and expand their horizons, and it's like you're done.
The reason is because we play one game a week. So
True.
that one game,
You're right.
we
I'm
have
more
news
of a
forever.
baseball guy, so yeah, you got a point there.
All right, Wayne, thank you for joining
Plus,
us, man.
who knows more about
If you guys
football,
have
a
not
coach
done
outside the
so,
organization or somebody with
subscribe
6
to
Super Bowl
Forever
rings?
Patriots. What's that? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I said, besides, who knows more about football, somebody outside the organization or somebody with 6 Super Bowl rings?
I don't know. But the Lions pick is in, guys, here. Wayne, thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks, Wayne.
The running back, Jahmyr
Thank
Gibbs,
you.
in a bit of a surprise at 12 after trading back from where they had originally been at 6. So it's already been a very busy night for Detroit.
We have another 10 minutes
Obviously,
to wait.
a terrific second half of last season. So many people view them as a team with a big future.
What?
A team a lot of people like in that
No, I
NFC
meant
North, where
this.
Aaron Rodgers will no longer be dominating the division in Green Bay. Feels somewhat wide open. Maybe the Lions make a move here.
I
Let's
feel
see
like if the Lions
which
draft
direction they
Will
decide to go
Levis
to
here,
try and move
he'd
them
be a
up.
Matthew Stafford 2.0. Just be really good, but
Because
never
they're-
be it.
Because they're the Lions.
Yeah.
Lions, and now they
I don't
choose
know, Matthew
again.
Stafford
Here's the
won
And
commission.
he's white.
Won a Super Bowl.
With the 18th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Jack Campbell.
What is
linebacker,
going on?
Iowa.
Wow. That is a really good pick for them.
What do you mean that's a good pick for
That's
them?
they needed some defensive help.
Jared Goff is still their quarterback.
He was the MVP candidate last season.
No, he was.
Without Jared Goff, would the Lions have won 8 games?
Without Jared Goff.
With Jared Goff.
With Jared Goff, they only won 8 games.
I'm just, I don't know if a middle
That's-
linebacker was the best thing here. And you could say their defense was a problem, but they have a lot of talent on that defense already.
Tampa Bay goes Will Levis. They have to, right? I mean,
No, they got Baker Mayfield.
stop
you
it.
you get an off-the-ball linebacker.
I forgot they got Baker Mayfield.
I don't
Forgot they
know.
got Baker.
We
Mayfield.
got our
The
man
top
Johnny up here.
In the top 20 pick, I want an on-the-ball
You got
defender.
We also don't
or-
want a running back either. This draft is messed up.
Yeah, it is a little weird.
All right, so we got our guy Johnny Torres from Southside Bags here. Anybody here at Bourbon Street, if you guys have not heard, Southside Bags every Wednesday night here at Bourbon Street has a blind draw bags tournament. It's $20, random partners. It's kind of how I started throwing bags, at this type of level. I'm really not at this type of level, but I'm still throwing bags, and it's fun. I mean, you get pros that come in. You got a lot of stuff. So, Johnny, man, tell everybody what Southside Bags is all about.
Absolutely. Man hour, Chicago. Thanks for coming out here tonight, putting this together here. But Southside Bags, we're here every Wednesday night. Bags fly at 7:30, $20 blind draw. You don't need a partner. You'll get paired up with somebody. 100% payout for sure.
So when we do the blind draws, when I first came, it was the day after Thanksgiving. And I got to tell you, when I was like, all right, cool, yeah, I throw bags at home, or whatever, and I throw at the family barbecues, and I do pretty well. And then I come here, and I don't. We got to go to the stage in 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He hit the wrong mics. So I don't think I won a game for like 2 months when I first started throwing Southside Bags. But then as you get into it and you start throwing more, often, you start learning the different types of bags. That's a big deal, man. So tell everybody that are throwing the corn bags at home that it's not just, like, there actually is a difference when you start throwing professional bags.
Absolutely. So it's a totally different environment. You got different bags. You got different boards. But, that's how you're going to get better. You got to shoot with good players, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you, ever since you came here, you've gotten a lot better. And I could say I would love to have you as a partner one day. So
Well, yeah, that's
Fitz
only
is
because you
different.
don't. That's only because no. He only wants me as a partner because he runs the tournament, so he wants to sit down early.
No, I'll take you and Fitz anytime.
So when you come here, you've got professionals
Johnny.
that come down and throw. Like we've had the #1 ranked player in the world come down to Bourbon Street and play with Mark Richardson, right? We've had Nico Morellis, we've had Tom Gustafson. We're working on actually getting Nico Morellis versus who I call the GOAT. We're talking about getting Air Rubin down here. These are guys that we're watching throw on ESPN that are coming down on a Wednesday night to play in blind draws with people, and you can get partnered up with them.
Absolutely, that's totally mind-blowing. You have guys that are playing on ESPN showing up to Bourbon Street on a Wednesday night. It's like, who does
take
that?
our money.
Can I butt in here? Is it ESPN the Ocho? One and two. Is there? Do you remember the movie Kingpin that came out in 1998? Could there be a Kingpin movie that has beanbags in it with like Woody Harrelson or?
Listen, I got a massive video editing software on here.
Here we
I got
go.
some AK cameras. I'm just saying. The Buccaneers messed up on their draft pick there.
The Buccaneers selected a defensive tackle.
This guy's
Elijah
talking AK
Cansey.
cameras. We might have to hire him, man, to record some of these
And
matches.
I got a black couch too.
But yeah. No, that being said, like they're playing on ESPN already.
Yeah.
CBS Sports Network also. Matter of fact, Southside Bags had a cameo with Gorski. Gorski was rocking one of these hats. And, as you know, we sponsor ACL Pro Gorski. So, yeah. If you guys have nothing to do on a Wednesday night, stop on by. We're here.
Absolutely.
Fitz will come here occasionally. Combs is always here.
We're always looking like you're looking right now. You're building some bags. You're looking for a couple of sponsors, to come out for the boards. Why don't you tell the people what they can, what would get out of a sponsorship?
Absolutely.
on
So
one of the
there's a
boards?
couple of sponsorship opportunities. We are getting some custom boards, pro boards designed for us, and so we're looking for a couple of sponsors. If you guys are interested, get a hold of Man Hour Chicago or myself. I'm here every Wednesday. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. Look, I build boards too, but you didn't ask me to build them, so I guess I just.
I said pro style.
Oh,
Keyword. I said pro style.
Wow. So that is Johnny with Southside Bags, guys. Betty, I like what you're doing there, man. You're doing good stuff. You bring that to Southern Indiana. I need to do something once in a while. So
he said you need to come down to Southern Indiana because he needs something to do every once in a while. So we need to expand.
Okay. I mean, we're Southside Bags, but not that much south. We're southeast.
it's south of Indiana.
Buck, it's only a 3.5-4 hour drive for you to get here. Why can't you come on a Wednesday?
Okay.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
right.
Yeah.
We'll do an
Because
overnighter or something.
94 is a freaking roller
No,
coaster. Oh my
it's-
God, I about puked.
It's called priorities, Buck. Where are your priorities at? Work and taking care of your family, or coming to Bourbon Street to play bags?
Probably sleep.
So obviously, I see you wearing a Royals hoodie, but if you had to pick between one team, who would you pick, Cubs or Sox?
Oh, I'm a Cubs fan, or I would be a Cubs fan.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
Fitz, you're outnumbered.
Yeah.
Fitz.
The most popular team. Wow. What an American, Buck. Thank you.
I just like to win.
No, he doesn't like losing 13-2 every night.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I mean, I
the
don't know
Cubs
if-
are going to be a stalwart this year.
I don't know, Fitz. You're being outnumbered here. In fact, in our Sunday nights, our Sunday shows, you're also outnumbered,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we'll see you in the long haul to mediocrity for the Cubs this year.
The Sox have the
81
same
and
number.
81.
The Sox have the same number of wins as the Cubs do losses.
Hey, based on the recent White Sox scores, I'm surprised the White Sox aren't in this NFL draft with those NFL points that they're.
The White Sox select Will Levis.
You're on the south side of Chicago. Good
Yeah?
for you.
And what does
Good for
geography
you.
have
There
to
are
do?
more
Represent
Cubs
your
fans down
area.
here than there are White Sox fans.
Represent your area.
We are representing our area.
Yeah, you
with
really
winners.
are.
All right, guys.
Because you watch games with your grandpa. Now that you can be a Cubs fan.
So the
Isn't
Tampa Bay
that
Buccaneers
great?
did not draft Will Levis. They drafted
They did
defensive
not.
tackle Cansey from Pittsburgh.
Wow.
Seattle,
No.
maybe. Will Levis. I mean,
They drafted a receiver to replace Tyler
insane.
Lockett. He's getting older.
dude. At this point, I might be right. Quentin Johnson might still come to the Bears in round 2.
Well, we got to wrap the show up because they're kicking us off the stage here, Combs. So
yeah, I mean they're about to do some karaoke. So we're gonna wrap up here, and then they're gonna do some karaoke.
But thanks for bringing
John
us
is
back
gonna come sing a duet with me
John
after.
Fitz. John Fitz.
Yeah, so
Karaoke.
I'm gonna buy him a drink, and we're gonna do a duet here. We're gonna stay a little late. We're gonna close this place down, right, John? We're gonna talk. We're gonna sing "How We Love Quentin Johnston."
Alrighty.
I got some Spice
Guys,
Girls
stick
on
around
deck.
for
if you guys like
karaoke.
some Spice
Karaoke coming
Girls.
up next.
I'm just glad Buck brought us back to football. We weren't all being the shill for the Chicago Cubs.
All right,
Fitz,
guys.
how many Trulies are you in already?
The Chicago Cubs need more.
5.
5 Trulies in? Wow.
Trulies.
All right, guys, that is going to be it for Man Hour. You can join us every live Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. East Coast time at youtube.com/Man Hour, and every Saturday or Sunday night at 8 p.m. East Coast time. 7 p.m.
Sunday 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yep. And that is youtube.com/Windy City Sports, right?
Windy City Sports.
All right, guys. So there you guys go. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We had fun. Hopefully you guys enjoy your autographed memorabilia. Bears
100%.
fans, sorry for getting last place again this season.
100%.
Oh my
It
God!
is what
Get
it
out of
is.
here. Till next time, Man Hour Nation, rise up.